Hey, Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
So, we're back, fellas. I'm back from vacation. Laura's back from vacation. Corey's back from vacation. And Mike didn't go anywhere. Well, okay, you had to work at Craven.
That's not a vacation.
I know, you have to see Nickelback. That's not much of a vacation.
Fuck off. Nickelback was awesome.
Nickelback was the highlight of that. It was. I couldn't believe how like they did that encore and then just magically had all that stuff set up already, right?
And then had another encore?
Yeah, and they had all the stuff for the encore too for that, right?
Right?
Isn't that amazing how bands have all this?
It's like they planned it out.
Yeah.
Kind of in a way, yes.
How did they create all that pyrotechnics in such a short period of time, right?
Money.
Well,
Copious quantities of money.
They were already shooting off the pyrotechnics before everybody
But they had to
demanding
choreograph the pyrotechnics for the song they played afterwards, and they weren't expecting to play.
It's all programmed in.
No, they weren't expecting to do it.
It's all programmed in.
Mike, how about you? How's your world? You're awfully quiet for a change.
For fuck's sakes, you really want to? I mean, I could give you that. Oh, everything's just fine.
You're a terrible liar.
Yeah, we don't believe a word of that.
I'm exhausted. I'm hot. I'm
arrogant.
overworked. I got a digital thermometer that says I'm fucking hot. And so
I don't want to smell that digital thermometer. Just saying.
Right. I got a lot of stuff going, and it's starting to come to fruition with the Shakespeare, and then little things are happening here, and I'm, oh my God, I got to get on this. I got to get somebody going on this, and I get all stressed and whatever. So I'm here. Where is here?
Well, we are at the Secret Lair today. Can we call it the Secret Lair? I like calling it the Secret Lair.
Fortress of Solitude. And there's 4 of us, so not very solitude-y.
Well, like, there's no one else here.
Yeah, I come to this for the solitude. Fuck.
I don't want to say what I do in the solitude.
No, we are at the Palatial.
TMI.
Ay. You're so...
Hey, based on the movie we're doing today, I feel okay. So.
Right?
This is not going to be a G-rated podcast today, is it?
Oh, God, no.
We've never had a...
No.
I've been involved in a G-rated podcast.
This one is beyond R.
Honestly, ours are G-rated with some F-bombs sprinkled in for good measure.
We're like a PG-13.
That, by definition, eliminates G.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, come on.
You're not even
5-year-olds know how to say fuck.
Let's put it this way. We're not Sausage Party bad, but it's bad.
Ooh.
That was a great movie.
I've never seen that
What
show.
the
I've never had
fuck
any
is
interest.
wrong
Me and
with
Logan
you?
went to it. It was
Seriously?
a blast.
It is...
It was so stupid. It was funny.
No.
That's what people say about me.
Well, except the funny part. So, Laura, this is your pick this week.
Yes.
And you're supposed to say after I say, Laura, this is your pick this week.
Oh, I'm pretty dead anyways. Oh, it's
So,
Deadpool.
there we go. I had to drag it out of her.
Yes, you do.
Lead in. Lead it. We're now in the minus. Lead in.
Okay, this is my first cup of coffee today, so...
That's a tragedy.
It is.
How is this your first
I
cup of
refuse
coffee?
to believe that.
No, this is my first cup of coffee.
What have you been doing all day?
Working.
Obviously nothing.
Frozen lemonade is my friend.
Frozen lemonade is our friend, eh?
So you're on the sugar rush rather than the caffeine rush.
And I'm crashing really hard.
Oh, the sugar...
Oh, so fantastic that you say that right at this moment.
Yeah, right at the crash.
At the crash,
So, we got to take a moment to appreciate the opening credits of this movie.
That's got to be your new trademark.
Yeah,
That's got to be his
I think we already
We
said
got to
that.
appreciate that.
You've already called him
No,
on
we
that,
don't.
actually. Yeah.
I probably will,
Yeah.
but I don't have to.
Yes,
No,
you do.
you do.
Yes, you
because
do.
you said so. That's the bottom line.
We gotta appreciate that Colossus is just like terrible
This is
CGI.
This is the best Colossus CGI we've ever gotten.
It is absolutely... No, he's
I
better in
don't
number
know.
2.
I think he's better in the one, but we just don't get enough.
He's better in Deadpool 2.
Is he better in Deadpool 2? I thought it was almost identical CGI.
What I like about him in this is he looks like he's made of like weathered metal, because he wouldn't be shiny and polishy like you would be led to believe, because he's walking around and stuff.
But he's organic, so it would regenerate and repolish, or it's just like, you know what I mean?
But if he's walking around for like several days like this,
Well, that's the better
Do you
question.
think he showers?
I think he
Do you
would
think
rust.
he would fit in the shower?
When he's now
she
in this movie, they never show him in the human form. So in the cinematic world of X-Men, they've showed him that he changes. So he would definitely shower when he's not in.
Well, the better question is, why is he always walking around like that? He's eating
Yeah.
cereal like
So-
that.
Yeah, it's possible that in the Deadpool universe, which is kind of the Fox universe,
It is definitely the Fox universe before it was purchased.
but it's kind of the Fox universe because it's kind of on its own thing at the same
No
time.
bashing the producers on my movie.
No, we're not
Wow.
saying.
We love this movie
But they,
because it's not MCU. So these are great.
even though it's retroly into the MCU.
There we go.
Posthumously.
Like I said to Jeff earlier, this is not really MCU. He can think it is, and that's fine. I appreciate that. I can take a moment and appreciate that he thinks that. But if Deadpool 3 needed a kidney, it could not get it from these two because these two are genetically not from the same father.
I appreciate that you
or
took
mother.
a moment to appreciate that.
Corey, if we need to calm down the heated debate, the sprinkler room's right there.
Yeah, but I have the key.
I can
not
pick
anywhere
the
there at
lock.
the moment.
Yeah, we knew there was going to be some talkings.
Well, I was curious. See, I was curious if like, because I know Jeff threw out that Marvel hater or MCU hater or whatever.
Yes.
And which is not true, but I mean, I definitely do not like these.
You don't like Deadpool movies?
No, I like them. I do not like them. Is what
You
I meant
do
to
not
say.
like
Deadpool 1 and 2 are great movies because of the brilliance of what they are. Within themselves, they are nothing
Because
more
the brilliance of Ryan Reynolds.
right.
All because of Ryan
In a
Reynolds.
very essence, they're like John Wick. They're not being any more than what they are pretending to be. They're not trying to be deep or anything else. It's just great fun and profanity and sexuality.
I'm a little hurt that he compared it to John Wick.
in its
I
own
mean,
world.
I can see that comparison.
I'm still
John
a
Wick is
little
not
hurt.
trying to be a dramatic, profound piece of Neither is this. And that's all I'm saying.
You don't
It
think
knows
this
what it is.
You don't think this is profound when he gets shot in the ass?
Okay, that was
Right,
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Is this the best opening credits of any movie, or at least top 5?
Nah, it's okay.
Where, like,
not
with
bad.
the producers and asshat, the writers are the real
that was
heroes.
Right.
The
Overpaid douchebag.
yeah, the overpaid douchebag. The starring world's greatest idiots.
So, now, I have to wonder, is in this movie, they make fun of the fact that they've got Hugh Jackman as the sexiest man alive on the magazine, and the one point he pins it on his face, everything like that. Bottom line is, so how does he explain Wolverine then, when in this new movie?
Well, does he need to?
They do now. They do now.
They don't
So-
really, because at the beginning of this one too, they state, or he says, I'm not going to name names, but it rhymes with Polverine. Right?
And let me tell you, he's got a pair of smooth criminals hanging down under.
This movie is full of fourth wall breaks, stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, he says, oh, what, Fox couldn't pay for more X-Men in the movie? Like, he says it in the movie.
Well, that's the
He is
brilliance of it.
100% just bashing everybody.
He
Including
didn't break the
himself.
fourth wall, he fucking shattered the fourth wall. So.
And see, that's the brilliance of it. And that's why I love these two, the first two. And that's why I think there's going to be a miss on the third one. It's going to be successful economically. I'm not questioning that. the nerds are going to go out in droves and they're going to make it $1 billion movie, but it's not going to be the same. It is now a different entity because they are restricted, or they have this, or they got to do that.
I'm gonna 100% say I'm one of the nerds that are gonna go watch it, and I really hope that it is not.
Yeah, we're gonna do Deadpool and Wolverine next week. If I haven't told you guys already, we gotta somehow or another.
We are okay, sure.
By the way,
Yeah, it's my pick next week, and that's what I'm picking. We're gonna somehow or another convince Mike to come see it with us. Are we all down for this plan, guys?
All right.
So,
Even if we have to buy him tickets and popcorn.
Well, like I said, it's not about the money. I don't have an interest, but I'll see it for the sake of, and if I have time.
Jeff, have you been working on your knots?
I don't think we can make it not big enough for Mike. Okay,
We'll just call
You
Adam.
forget I'm a knot guy too, so anything you can tie, I can untie.
he's
call
very
Adam.
naughty.
Yeah.
Very naughty.
naughty.
Anything you can do,
I
can do
don't
better.
want to know what you two are doing when I'm not around. Just saying.
Oh, well
brain was
then.
Anyway,
So when I rewatched this, I thought he was after the guy.
I know that was a well played scene.
But he's actually after the pizza guy.
Yes.
So this guy is like a total bystander
Yeah.
whose apartment he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke into
So
order.
why did he break into that guy's apartment?
Because
'Cause
it
it's
was close,
funny.
and it was close to the skate park.
Yeah, I guess.
And then he had to harass him for wearing bedazzled jeans.
Like,
Maybe
if you're
he
gonna
just-
break into the guy's apartment, at least let him have the slice of pizza without dropping it on the ground.
Maybe he just didn't like the guy's jeans. That's why he broke into that apartment.
now if you want to get pretentious, which I don't necessarily want to, but this scene, it sets up the character development of everybody. That's what it is.
It
The
does.
pizza guy?
It's
Well, the
The
pizza
deep
guy.
part of the pizza.
everybody. The pizza guy isn't in the rest of the movie, so we don't care.
The pizza guy.
But the deep plot
He
with the guy
needs-
from the apartment.
he
it's-
needs the guy from the apartment to take the pictures.
Ah.
Wait,
Yeah, that's
wait,
what
I can hear
It's a
something
plot.
stretching
It's a
right
plot
now.
development.
Hey, I'm making it work. Damn it!
It's a bait and switch, right? It works. I'm not gonna
A
nitpick it
bait
too.
and switch.
Yeah, like
I'm
you're just like,
invested
oh,
now.
he's after the guy in the apartment,
Oh yeah.
and then oh, he's actually after
what
the
the
pizza.
assassin is doing. No,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. No, it's just a character development thing. He's kicking the cat
Yeah.
in a very fun way. So.
He should really be ashamed of those sunglasses. Oh wait, he is.
I think you grabbed them at the rave, right? So
Yeah.
They're not his.
But he's really ashamed of them. Thank God.
So you think he's got that little nick on the eyebrow because it was an accident? Well, fuck, we better film it because I don't have time to grow it back. Or did they put it there for the film?
I think it's in there for the film.
Because I've never seen it otherwise.
Well, that's what I mean. Like he nicked himself shaving or something.
Did
or,
you know in Dumb and Dumber how Jim Carrey's got that looks like a chip in his tooth there? Obviously it's fake. He actually had that actual chip in his tooth as a kid that he got filled in once he got money.
Yeah.
But that's why he got the idea to put that in there.
Yeah.
So
Sisters Margaret School for Wayward Girls, eh?
And deliveries.
which is a total right out of the page comic book thing. So remember
I
back when TJ Miller was funny?
no, I never.
No.
TJ Miller is a great banterer, but he can't hold up on his own, and he hates other people being better than him, and he's a douche because of it.
He plays a perfect weasel.
Yeah.
Like this was the role Ryan Reynolds is born for, and this was the role that T.J. Miller was.
Well, he
born
was
for.
good in Ready Player One too.
I,
Like he's the same character, and it worked. He's also got 10 seconds in Rock of Ages. That was like one of my favorite parts of the movie. So
T.J. Miller is one of those guys that's just like he's not playing a character; he's playing T.J. Miller. Except for in this case, because I can envision Weasel as T.J. Miller, right? Like,
from Regina, that rhymes with fun.
oh my God, Nickelback! Can we talk about Nickelback?
How they actually stated that it was Regina and
Yeah.
it rhymed with vagina? Yes. And it's Saskatchewan, not Saskatchewan.
Apparently,
Yeah, that's why it's spelled with an I.
Oh, I totally know where I say Calgary or Calgary. Which one annoys you? Calgary.
It's
Oh,
Calgary.
I'll say Calgary.
Calgary annoys you?
Or like
I'll say
anyone
that
from
every
Saskatchewan,
time.
it's Calgary.
Calgary.
Because it's
G
exactly how
apostrophe
it's-
R-Y.
Yes, you drop the damn
C-A-L-G
A.
apostrophe R-Y.
There's no apostrophe.
No, but that's how you say it.
That's how you say it.
Oh,
Calgary.
no, because I know it annoys people, so I say it Calgary.
Same with Saskatchewan. You don't say Saskatchewan, you say Saskatchewan. S apostrophe K-A-T-C.
Yeah, I've
But there's no
never,
apostrophe in it.
I've
But-
never
No, but
seen,
where you pronounce it.
I've never heard anybody say Saskatchewan.
Obviously, you've never heard people from Saskatchewan say Saskatchewan.
Then I
That's-
haven't, because it's always
Well-
Saskatchewan.
Here's the. I'm not from Saskatchewan, but they have some weird ass fucking bugs.
Oh my god, like I was just thinking the same thing. Like the bugs in Saskatchewan are ridiculous.
They're mutants. It's fine.
It's like
The fucking mosquito mixed with the bumblebee and a spider and it fucking bites you and it hurts. I lost a nail.
it's unnatural. It
And
would,
now you know what I grew up with.
I didn't realize you grew up in the rainforest of Saskatchewan.
Ah,
Northern Saskatchewan?
Central.
So, in reference to Yorkton.
I'm from Humboldt. No.
Okay, I don't know where Humboldt
You know
is.
where Humble is?
It's
No.
an hour east of Saskatoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, we were right down in
See,
there.
I spent a half
Weird ass
year
bugs.
in Weyburn, which is down
Oh,
south.
that's
Yeah,
pretty far
south,
south.
yeah,
southeast
yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's pretty close to the Manitoba border.
Yeah, Estevan was like an hour away. Estevan was about 5 minutes from the border or something like that.
So poor. Fuck, I forgot her name.
Meridius
Oh,
Oh yeah, Morena Baccarin. Apparently she
She's hot.
fucking hated working with Ryan Reynolds in this movie.
Really? You know what? They have. I actually think they've got pretty decent
I
chemistry.
think so too.
I never heard that. That's odd.
Yeah, I just recently seen this thing. She said she hated the sex scenes, she hated the interactions, she hated the just could not stand it.
Yet she came back for number 2, probably for the money. 'cause
Well, she
she's
probably
shallow.
doesn't have a
Well, she
bunch
wasn't
going
going
on.
to come back to number 3, but now supposedly she was, and
Yeah.
I think it was because of money. And I don't know, like everyone loved her, but that's again at
Everybody's
that
itch-
point it becomes like you said for money, not for like Ryan Reynolds does. Ryan Reynolds would do this for free if he had the choice. I'm sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
it's actually stated that he took the rest of his salary from this movie, from the first one, to pay the writers.
Actually, I heard that too. 'Cause
That
this
doesn't
was-
surprise.
This was near the writer's strike time, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Was this one or the second one near the writer's
This one.
strike?
This
Really?
It was after this, I think, but before that, because this was 2016. So
Like, so do you think they seem to have good chemistry just because Ryan Reynolds is just that charismatic?
I think it's professionalism on her part too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because I've seen her in a couple movies plus Gotham. She was
great in
fantastic in
Did,
Gotham.
did
was
she play a
great in
prostitute?
Gotham.
Because every
No.
role I know her in, she's a
she
prostitute.
played just a character essentially, but still, she was really
She was
well. She was Gordon's love
Gordon's love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
which she's married to James Mackenzie or whatever his name is.
The guy who played Gordon?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ugh.
So that's why their chemistry was so good.
Yeah.
So
What I remember her from is Firefly.
yes,
That's
She
and
was
she
in
played.
Firefly?
she was the main hot chick in it. Can't remember her name in it, but
Summer
No,
Glau?
Summer
No,
Glow was
not
the
that.
main hot chick.
I mean,
Well, there was the mechanic, which is not her. The
The mechanic was adorable.
Yeah. No, I just don't remember her in Firefly at all.
No.
You know that I think about it, they had like a plethora of.
They had the black chick who was married to
wash.
Alan Tudyk. And we had.
Do you guys call him Alan Two Dicks?
Yes. That was the name he used to get teased in high school. He said it in an interview. There was the black chick that was married to Alan Tudyk. There was the hot mechanic chick, and there was Summer Glau, and then there was
There was the prostitute
She
that was
played-
horrible.
that was what's that?
had
She
the,
played Inara Sarah?
Who?
was that the name?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
correct.
she played Captain
Reynolds.
Yohad, whatever her.
See,
love
I could understand not
Malcolm
actually
Reynolds.
Who's Malcolm Reynolds?
Killian.
the main
Oh, okay, that's
character
his
of the show.
character name. Okay,
Yeah, Malcolm Reynolds.
I don't know what his name was.
So I could legitimately see why these kind of scenes would make you feel uncomfortable on film. Like,
International
Well,
Women's
you
Day.
don't sign up for stuff like that then.
well, this is
I
fair.
don't feel like it's like, hey, guess what we're going to do today? Just had a great idea. I don't think they did that. You know, but yeah.
And this is like you just go through that, and then they have like this sweet moment where they're reading together. But
And then
He's
he
just
uses his vampire
regenerating his
juice.
sperm. That's all he's doing.
Hey man, some of us don't have the stamina we used to, okay?
That's
I've
why,
heard.
That's why they created that little blue pill. Just saying.
It's actually stam apostrophe nah.
Damn it.
There you
Stanma,
go.
eh?
Yeah,
Stanma.
yeah. Just like Calgary and
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. I don't know.
I'm gonna throw my coffee at him. That's coffee abuse.
That'll make it
Come
my
on.
5th coffee today.
There's something in there.
Man, are we gonna have a field day with what genre is it for this movie?
Yeah.
No, not really.
They even like in the
Well,
movie they reference
romance.
the genres.
I mean, to me, it's easy because
It's not a horror movie, but like we'll
Oh,
get
no,
to
no,
that
he
towards the end. But he
references that
says,
too.
yeah, he says.
the predominant element to me is clear. And we can all ignore the predominant element and go to another element and put it in that section, and that's fine.
I think there's two predominant elements, though.
I think one is far significantly more predominant than anything else.
Well, listeners, you'll find out when we get to the end of our podcast. Smooth. Smooth.
I mean, you could put 5 genres into this, I imagine, but you know. And I
yeah.
didn't count them, but I mean, I imagine you could attach,
I'm running through them in my head. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, he almost dies, so it's drama. So
Tragedy.
I thought this was a horror movie.
of course he did.
I thought it was.
Well,
horror.
there is a supernatural element to it.
There is a
So by Corey's
supernatural-
standards,
Is there?
he's he's supernatural. He's got power. He regenerates himself.
He's
That
tortured.
is supernatural.
He's tortured, and then he becomes a hideous being. Like
More
that's
science fiction.
It's his
than
regeneration
supernatural.
that I'm thinking that is the supernatural.
It's more science fiction than it would be supernatural.
Okay, that little
Well,
baby head is pretty horrific.
the baby.
Okay, it's definitely.
He's just shirt cocking it.
You know what I think's horrific is the cum
gratuitous
songs.
ass shot.
Oh man, Ryan. I won't even complain about Ryan Reynolds' ass shots. Okay, like come on.
He's got a pretty cute ass.
Like
You got her ass shots too. It's just fair. It's all fair.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's that veiny. What's that called? The lines that go down to the trail.
Obliques?
No, your abs that go if you have
Is that
tight
not
abs
your
like he
obliques?
does.
That's
What's that?
Isn't that your obliques?
No, obliques are up here mostly.
That's your latissimus.
No, that's the back. The back is your lat. It's that big muscle in the back.
I
Your
know
obliques are those little muscles on
fucking
the
clue
right.
what
right.
they're
These are the
talking
obliques.
about.
Because when you do twists, it works your obliques. Which is
It can
these muscles.
because you're twisting that core.
It's
now
called
they
the
might be
pelvis.
connected. Well, there's the pelvic region, but what's the muscle called?
Well, I mean,
Well-
as someone who's injured it, I know where the adductor is.
Yeah, maybe it's the adductor part of the.
No, adductor is like right here.
That's what I was saying.
No,
That's-
but like right here. Like,
Oh, right in the groin?
there. It's the groin muscle that connects to your pelvis.
which is connected to your.
Yeah, no, I tore that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it sucked.
I broke my coccyx once.
Your coccyx, eh?
Yeah, fuck, that hurt.
You
For
broke
like
6
3
years.
years. For like 3 years. Holy shit.
Oh, this has been medical talk with Corey and Mike.
Oh, look, moving back to the beginning.
It's like they blew the budget on this one action scene.
What's
they
up with this
kinda did.
Yeah, but
subtitling, by the way?
What's that?
What's up with this subtitling, by the way?
It's bad sub. I don't.
It
Don't
said
worry
that for the
about
entire
that.
movie.
Don't worry about the subtitling. So you guys, everyone knows the story why they come back to this action scene a lot, right? I'm sure you know the story, right, Corey?
Possibly. Refresh me.
He was,
It was-
telling him how it happened.
It was a budgetary thing. They had so this scene was was part of what was that test footage that got released that got the movie made, and they spent a whole bunch of money making this scene, and then they had hard budgetary restrictions after they made this scene. So they had to keep coming back to this and reusing this footage. So they stretched it out to like make the best out of it.
They did pretty good.
They did a great job. You almost appreciate a movie that's got budget restrictions like that because they have to do the things they do good in creative ways, right?
Forces them to be tight and consistent and frugal, because quite often a lot of movies, especially in one of the 5 genres that this hits, they get very gratuitous and shallow. And this, as gratuitous as it is, they're very mindful of the value of the laughs, of the this and that, whatever. And that's, like you say, I totally agree, because of the budgetary.
If nothing else, his katana just pierced through concrete.
That's tough to do. That would break that
Comic book
motherfucker.
world.
I was going to say, like, sheer strength, but yeah.
This guy that doesn't feel any pain sure looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Does he not?
What did he
feel
say?
pain?
Father Bill or something like that?
Yeah,
Is that-
that's his thing.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
just wondering, because he doesn't really regenerate.
No, he doesn't. He's not immortal, but he doesn't feel
He
pain.
just doesn't feel pain.
Yeah.
So he's like Kick-Ass,
Yeah.
but different.
Except for he looked like he was feeling a lot of pain.
Wham.
Make it big.
And those are the little things that, man, I wish, they would have
Yep.
been consistent with that.
Yeah.
And like I said, they kind of probably made that scene before they had full realization of the rest of it,
I
but
think
who
so.
knows?
Yeah, they had to give him something, right? And they
Yeah.
made that scene first.
And then,
And like, oh yeah, he's not gonna feel pain, so that we can have this big epic fight scene later on, right?
yeah, and it's just like, oh shit, we already shot that scene.
Who drinks kale?
What is it?
Those stupid IKEA commercials.
No.
Not remembering
There's things I hate about this.
On purpose or,
the IKEA commercials.
yeah, on purpose?
No, I just
Lisa listens to the radio
So-
way too much. so-
Mike, sorry, before I cut you off, you were saying?
Oh, there's things I don't like about the movie because of my emotional take on life. But I totally get that it's a schlocky comedy, fun movie. It's just like, I can't stand the idea of running away from somebody you love to save them of my pain. You're killing them as bad as you are saving them. He leaves her because I don't want her to go through the pain and trauma that blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
and
I
hate
had
that.
those thoughts before too, though.
No, I get, and
Yeah.
those are your thoughts, and
Yeah.
but to me, it's just like I don't like running away. I don't like giving up, and I think the pain you cause your loved one by leaving is equal to that of putting them through whatever.
I think
know?
it's almost worse. Like
Arguably, I agree,
Mm-hmm.
possibly. So but again, I don't take away the movie from that. I just that's a personal opinion.
that's this movie, right? Like it's
It's a
movie trope.
significant plot point that they needed to do to get him out, right?
And it's also it's a legitimate quandary, right?
Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, only in a comic book would they do this. No, like there are many people who would choose that route, but there are also many people who would not.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to go back to the movie I picked last time, but that's what happens in 1 week, right? And that always felt like a really personal
Yeah,
story. to
Again,
me.
that was one of the reasons that
you didn't like
that I
it.
didn't like it. One of them, yeah.
But
There was a lot.
But that was a different running away. Like I
Yeah.
feel like his running away was like
I
a
didn't
real
think-
reason. Like I get that you wanted to have this, right? And the way that Deadpool runs away here is a lot different, like
See,
a less realistic to me.
See, I didn't think he was running away from her for the same reason. He was running to something
Yes.
to find himself. So that was a different.
See,
I
and
still didn't like it.
I think
mean,
that 1 week it was selfish. I think in this one it was at least in his mind selfless.
the intent
Okay,
was selfish.
in
yeah.
his mind, yes, but where I think it was more selfish is he doesn't go back to her after getting the cure because he's ugly.
I mean, he was.
This is
And I argue, and arguably that's one of my biggest issues with this movie. He wasn't ugly enough.
you know what? I agree with you.
I
there.
thought he should have been more disfigured.
How do you make Ryan Reynolds ugly though?
Well, they needed to try harder. Bigger pox on his face, chunks. Let's get rid of a whole section and have the bone showing or something like that. But
Save money on makeup.
that's a nitpick.
So we're just
So-
gonna carve out his face like a pumpkin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when we first see him with his cancerous face, it is to some degree pretty gross. But then for the rest of the movie, it's very toned down. As
You
if
might even
makeup
say
costs-
horrific.
When he first lifts off his mask, it's a
Not
lot
that bad.
worse than throughout the rest of the movie because
Yes.
it's like he's healing.
This is unrelated to anything, somewhat, but I didn't care for the second one.
It wasn't as good.
Once Upon a Deadpool was awesome.
The PG version of Deadpool
Yes.
2 that lasted, what, 5 minutes?
Yes, it was awesome.
I agree with you. There were definitely elements in the second one I enjoyed. This movie I can enjoy right
Beginning
through,
to end, yeah.
right? Like, it was cool seeing Juggernaut in the second one, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I very much enjoyed the second one. It wasn't as good as this one, but I thought it was exactly what this one was in its own world. It was just events and moments that were hilarious and funny and silly and stupid. We pulled in new characters that whatever. We got to see Brad Pitt.
that was good.
second. Yeah.
I mean that's what Deadpool was about.
Technically, you also got to see Matt Damon, too.
And Matt
Technically,
Damon,
yeah.
and I guess the guy with the mustache, he's back in the third one.
Yeah, Peter's back. I'm so excited.
So it's just like, it's just like, it wasn't as good. I wasn't as big as a fan of it, but it was still a good movie, and it did exactly what
I
it
just
was
think
trying
that
to do.
the kid annoyed the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I found him annoying too.
I really liked him in Hunt for the Wilder People, but
Blink, blink.
I feel like that was a role suited for him, and I didn't feel like the role in Deadpool 2 was suited to him. I thought he was kind of annoying, right?
Well, I
He
thought
did have a
that
prison wall, though.
wasn't that the point to the kind of the character, to be that annoying little brat that was,
I think it was the wrong kind of annoying.
yeah.
Like, I think, like, he came off the... Like, there's an annoying on purpose, and there's... those that watch professional wrestling know that there's heel heat and then go away heat. And he had go away heat, if anybody understands that reference. You got what I'm talking about, right,
Yeah,
Corey?
I understand what you're talking about. He
I
was very-
get it.
His character was very self-righteous.
That's what it was supposed to be, I thought. I mean, it was...
He went through all that shit, and he's supposed to be a tortured soul, but instead he's like an annoying little fifth grader.
Yeah.
It's a schlocky
wasn't he
superhero
an
thing. You
annoying
can't
little
do
fifth
that.
grader?
Maybe. I don't know.
And they were setting up Mr. Sinister in the Fox movies in that one as well, which I like the connected universes, but like that was like...
Who's
eh.
Mr. Sinister?
Oh,
What?
I said, who is Mr. Sinister?
Are you talking about in the comics or in the movie?
Both. I've never heard of that one.
He's never... They
Show me a picture, I might say, oh, that guy.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a vampire, but not.
Yeah.
he,
That's
he-
Metaphisto. No,
Mephisto?
Mephisto.
he looks like a silver version of Mephisto with a diamond in his head.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't. He's like. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how mainstream he was for Marvel. So.
He was a pretty big Marvel or X-Men villain. Like, he was probably just a step or two below Magneto. Like, he was
Okay.
very much right there. Like, it was like Magneto, Sentinels, Mr. Sinister, right? Like, that was...
I would say as long as you have Sentinels above. Sentinels.
Sentinels are that high of a. I thought they were just robotic drones that.
They were, but they were always there. Somebody always.
But somebody controlled them.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
But I was like in the hierarchy of well-known Marvel
Okay,
X-Men villains, not Marvel, but X-Men villains. It would go Magneto would be number one.
Well, there was a time when they were Marvel.
But they're Marvel again now.
Well, the MCU, I always found it interesting that they theoretically base it on their lower tier characters, which I agreed with at the time. They started with a mid-level compared to their big names, which were always an X-Men.
It's crazy to think what a big name Iron Man is now. Like,
But at the same time, Iron Man, Captain America, like all these guys, they came out in like the 50s, and like the Captain America came out in the 40s, and
60s is when
60s was X-Men.
no, 60s is when those characters came. That's when Cap came back.
Yeah, came back, but I mean, Captain America #1 was still like at the end of World War II. Like Hitler was on the cover of Captain America.
That
1.
was back when it was time.
But
in
I'm just
comics.
saying, he's a fixture. He's probably Captain America is the biggest Marvel character in terms of notoriety, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would have thought. I thought that too when they first started.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Spider-Man's
Yeah,
number
okay.
one.
Spider-Man's hands down number one, and it used to be Spider-Man Wolverine, but I don't think anymore.
No,
I just want a new Wolverine.
Hey, you know what? I will still get the petition going that they need a 5'4", 220-pound Canadian as Wolverine.
We
Okay?
just need to put like side mohawks on Chapter.
Yeah, right.
I could grow the side mohawks.
Unrelated, why did it not have bare arms on the Wolverine costume in the movie? Because that was the only thing I wanted.
We will find out when we watch the movie. Maybe he does.
Maybe he turns.
They're
them
going to
off.
get randomly ripped off like the bottom half of Padme's shirt in the one.
I mean, you got to do what you got.
I just had a discussion.
The T-Rex. I love the type of T-Rex with the broken hands.
What make a man say an ass kicking contest?
I had a discussion with an indigenous, one of our new writers, the young kids from Augustana. They're writing our dinner theater. Where he's an indigenous guy that doesn't like to play indigenous people. I'm a white guy that played an indigenous person who's not allowed to play indigenous now, and he doesn't want to play. So how do we ever portray an indigenous person?
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because it's typecasting for him. He wants to avoid it. I want to tell a great story, and I'm white, so I can't do it. So what the hell do we do?
Also, watch if you're painting a mural or something, because if you're not indigenous and you're painting it, you're in trouble.
Oh, like the indigenous style?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I've heard that. Too.
yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury, goaltender, got someone to paint to
his
tribute
helmet.
the indigenous people, and he got in serious shit for it. And he's like, "Why? This is a tribute." Oh no, because it wasn't done by an indigenous person. You're cultural appropriation. What?
I don't fully subscribe to that. Like,
I don't at all.
There's some stuff that's insensitive, but like there's other stuff that
See-
just people are.
Again, if it's a tribute,
See, the idea,
They're taking it
cultural
overboard.
appropriation is doing something from another culture and claiming it's yours.
yeah.
Which I don't think that's what I'm taking another culture's art and working with it and creating something new with
The
it.
indigenous people
Not
aren't
claiming-
upset. It's
I know,
the
I
white
know.
people upset for them who they
There's
couldn't give a
actually,
shit.
it's a football. Is it a football team?
The
Redskins?
Eskimos.
Yeah.
Oh, the
No, the
Redskins.
Redskins.
The Commanders.
That
See that I understand.
No, that person was a real native.
Oh, his name
It
was
was an
Redskin.
actual person from history, and there's a petition to bring it back because they took the picture of the actual
Yeah.
historical and put it side by side. It's like fucking bad.
And yet the Blackhawks are still fine.
Well, the Blackhawk was a person as well, though. Like
Yeah.
the Blackhawk.
Well,
is
that
that
was the name of a tribe, but yeah.
Well, I think it was based on Chief Blackhawk. Like that was like their big thing, and they got all the history behind that and everything like that.
I don't know. I'm done with this. So.
I love her in this movie.
Oh,
I've always
Gina or
liked
whatever?
her. She's never taken a role that was beyond her capabilities, and I really like her.
She plays this role to perfection, but this role was pretty much
Absolutely.
tailored to her, right?
Oh, I thought she was perfect in Mandalorian too.
That's a shame what happened there.
I know it's bullshit,
Speaking
but whatever.
of- yeah.
Yeah, like I don't.
Star Wars, so yeah.
If someone says something egregiously offensive, I understand. Yeah, I said that term wrong.
You
guys
totally
know what I
did.
mean. You
I
guys know what I mean.
I think he left out the G's.
he did.
Egregiously.
But
Egregiously.
I'm proud of myself right now. My tongue hurts from biting it.
Irregardless, move on.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Just feel that.
Look at the pain on Corey's face.
Just feel that dagger. Are you gonna twist it too?
Well, at least you know it was an intentional jab and not a natural influence.
Man, they do such a good job in this torture scene, eh? Like you feel his
I
pain.
totally agree. That, especially the oxygen one.
Oh my! I'm in
Staying
pain.
in that. Oh, that was the most painful. You know, sometimes if you're watching a movie where somebody's swimming and they're drowning, or they gotta go 100 yards under the water, it hurts me because that's one of those things. That when he's in that oxygen deprivation thing.
This is before that even, and look
Yeah.
at the pain when they shoot on his face.
Yeah.
It's because they're
Well, that's
shooting.
because you just got out of the gym. Quick, your veins are showing. Come, get, lay down.
It's funny, speaking of the, sorry.
And they're shooting Windex into them.
My wife's been watching a copious amount of Baywatch lately, which I have nothing to say about that. But
David Hasselhoff.
either
hey.
way, You watch like when a person drowns in it or goes underwater. It's like help, help, help. Thunk, they're unconscious. I'm like, that's not how it works.
But you know, that's a movie's got a movie, right?
Yeah.
And
It
a
is if
TV
you-
show's got a TV show.
That is exactly how it works if you swim up behind him with a cast iron frying pan and smack him.
I mean, as somebody who has almost drowned in the last like 3 years.
I have officially drowned.
Yeah, see?
Like to unconsciousness and had to be revived.
Nice.
Really?
I'm not that
And
bad.
I was like 5.
Because I thought it.
Did Hasselhoff get you?
No,
Aw.
I don't think he was in Canada.
Was it Yasmin Bleeth? Because that would have been pretty amazing,
No, it
too.
would have been okay. Sticking my tongue down her throat. Okay, comment on here.
Oh yeah, we're watching a movie.
Yeah. So this is great because I didn't know the guy, but Francis in here.
Yeah.
I now am. I dislike the actor now because as soon as he's in the movie, I know who he's playing. I know his character.
Oh,
I've never seen him in a movie where he plays a middle ground or somebody who's heroic or somebody who's, you know, he always plays the douchebag bad guy. And I don't know of a movie where he plays.
I can't think of anything else he's in.
I feel like I've seen him in something else.
He's in Alita Battle Angel.
Definitely haven't seen that. Go on.
You haven't seen that one?
That didn't look good to me.
Well, that was a fun movie. I
Was
loved
it?
it. Yeah. I mean, you know, you can critique the CGI all you want. It wasn't terrible, but I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
So, just because I need to know, what does all the torture have to do with making him a mutant?
Well,
He has
that's
to
how,
be pushed to the brink before
They're
he can
curing his
recover.
cancer, and they want to see how much pain, and he just wants to abuse the shit out of him. He's a sadistic
Yeah.
asshole.
I don't think they're curing his cancer. I think they're like you pushing him. Like if your mutant abilities manifest, I guess that cures your cancer. So I guess in that sense, but the point is to push them so hard physically that they manifest.
I'm gonna geek on you here for there's a mutant and a mute. What's it called? Oh, what's the other term? Mutate. They're mutates. Apparently, the Marvel comic book, the world, have divided. A mutant is genetically changed and altered on their own through mutation. A mutate is caused by something to genetically re-alter their thing.
Is this like the time that all the Inhumans got created with the Terrigen gases and they mutate, but they're not mutants because they're
It
There's
Inhumans?
not a
could
lot
be.
of mutates in Marvel. There's a lot of mutants, but there's not a lot of mutates.
Well, apparently this is a new, and I'm only saying this because it comes. I follow a lot of nerd shit on TikTok, and there's a lot of people that are in this. It's becoming relevant to some people. So
I wonder if Miss Marvel is now mutate, not a mutant, because I know they retroactively. She was originally a Inhuman because of the Terrigen gas, and now they wanted to make her a mutant because they realized like they were hoping to make Inhumans the new X-Men because they didn't have the rights to X-Men in the movie, so they're just like, okay, we're gonna build up the Inhumans. It didn't really work. It kind of fell
He
apart.
was bombed.
And then that's if there was anything in the MCU actually legitimately did bad, Inhumans is it. Like that's about the only
never
thing.
saw it.
And
But
Eternal.
it's
And I like
Absolutely.
what's his
Thinking
name,
of
the guy who
Eternal.
played the mute guy, because I loved him on Hell on Wheels.
well, I hope they continue to bring him back, like because he. Yeah, I don't want to say he was good in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but
See, I hated what they did to those characters. It's like all of a sudden Captain Marvel was defeated so easily, and he was just mouth shut, done. Like she disposed of these people like they were tissue paper,
Well-
and it made no sense.
Or are
Yeah.
you talking about...
Multiverse.
No.
Black
the
Bolt.
Yeah, thank
Black
you.
Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like one of the most powerful mutants in Marvel.
Inhuman.
He had a nose. He could have.
Yeah, I could have whistled.
I mean, let the pressure out through there. I mean, she didn't close the nose. I mean, oh, you blew your ears out.
Why would you scream with your mouth? Like what? What? He killed himself. He's
Right.
silent 99.9%
I
of
could
the
do
time.
I could do this all day, or for the next 5 seconds. It's cut in half done. It was just like, Okay.
So is this where I say I didn't watch it?
And
You didn't watch
and
Doctor Strange, eh?
Not Multiverse.
I like that. He was
Sam
one of my
Raimi,
favorite
though.
modern
I know.
versions too.
But
I
I
didn't
didn't
like
watch
that movie.
And
but
Bruce Campbell
the
was
original?
fantastic in it.
And then
That's what Mark
was
said
who?
too. But,
Bruce Campbell was fantastic in it.
Oh, it was annoying.
but no.
But it was just like
It stopped. It's finally stopped.
I was like that was the beginning of the end with him and Spider-Man and stuff. But what was I on there? Yeah, the multiverse just kind of. Oh yeah. Doctor Strange defeated Thanos all on his own in his world, and it was just like all of the stuff made no sense, and it was just like
See,
so.
that doesn't work for me because Tony died, killing that.
He deserved to die a lot sooner than he did.
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh,
If he would have died before Ultron, it would have saved us a lot of problems.
well, Hank Pym would have just made him.
That's
Yeah,
possible.
that's an origin that is factually incorrect. It's the Ultron origin in the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
this scene is tough. We touched on it briefly
Oh, it's
about
really
the oxygen
oxygen.
deprivation.
Oh, so this is the horror scene.
Yeah, this is the horror scene.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
say so. Yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna close off the auction till you just start to suffocate, and then put just enough so you're constantly sitting there.
Oh man, I guess. Oh,
And then he did that movie called Buried, where he was buried alive.
that movie was boring but interesting at the same time.
I didn't watch it.
It was.
It looked too boring, but
It was. I watched it at the store.
I don't know if I've ever heard of Buried. Who's got in it?
it was
Ryan
a straight to
Reynolds.
DVD Ryan Reynolds.
Right,
He gets
it's a
buried.
very dramatic role. It's not the Ryan Reynolds.
He
we know.
spends the whole movie in a coffin.
You know, Ryan Reynolds can play. Like he plays some dramatic roles in this. Like
Have
the
you ever
emotion
seen-
on his face while getting tortured is like.
Have you seen School of Life?
No.
Watch School of Life. If anybody here, it's a very, I don't know if you'd seen it when in their store or whatever.
Probably.
Incredible drama with Ryan Reynolds, zero comedy.
You're gonna have to put it on one of your movies.
Yeah, well, I don't even know where to find it. I guess, our old-fashioned way, but it was so hard to come by. Like, I recommended that movie to like, everybody who wanted to see what Ryan
It's a
Reynolds
comedy,
can really do.
though, right?
He plays a teacher who, like, relates to the students very, yeah, but it's really not. But,
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that one. It was actually good.
It's fucking amazing.
Have not seen it.
It's so good. Like, again, he plays like a teacher, like in what's called Dead Poets Society, where he like engages his students, and so like there is funny haha because he's being that kind of teacher.
Yeah.
But to call it a comedy is an absolute disservice to the movie.
I
So-
recognize
It
the
is-
DVD cover now that I see
It's
it, but
defined as comedy sport.
It's another
by-
one of those ones that were straight to
Who?
DVD.
Yeah.
IMDb. IMDb defines it as comedy sport.
this was back. That came out back at the time where I like did not give Ryan Reynolds any credit as an actor.
It came out the same year as Waiting, so that's kind of when he
Waiting,
came
I
out, so-
really enjoyed from him. Right? That's
Well, and
I
a
couldn't
lot
get
of
through that.
a lot of issues for Ryan Reynolds too is he did Green Lantern.
this was long before that, though. I think
I
he
wouldn't
was
say long before, but it was before.
Green Lantern. Like
If you
at
say
that
you
at the
like
time
that
he did
movie-
Green Lantern, I think that he was a movie star. And with School of Life and Van Wilder, it was just kind of like, he's kind of
Van
a funny.
Van Wilder put him on the map.
Yes.
Yeah, Van Wilder was the movie.
Yeah.
That put him out there. And
Yeah.
Then I'm trying to think. Was Green Lantern before Blade 3?
Yes.
Yes.
No, Green
No.
Lantern was after.
Oh.
I thought it was after, because then Blade 3 now turned him into an action star. That was
an
his
action star, and his one-liners really
Yes.
started to show.
And
Like
they hit
obviously
hard,
it did.
yeah.
He wasn't really a one-liner as much in Van Wilder's. He was just funny.
Yeah.
But then in Blade, it was all
All
one-liner.
one-liner.
Yeah.
So
See, I feel like with Van Wilder and with Blade 3, he was just kind of like, he's like the Dane Cook type role to me. Anyway, at that time, I didn't consider him an action star
and
yet.
Dane Cook was in Waiting. Anyway,
I
Dane Cook, I've never seen him in anything more than either a comedy or an action.
he plays the
or
chef
a
in
rom
Waiting.
com.
but that,
yeah.
and that was what I considered Ryan Reynolds at that time. Was just like nothing
Blade
more.
though, the Blade broke that.
I don't. To me, it was just like, he's in there for comic relief. It just
Yeah.
Biel was in it
But
too, right?
He was
like,
in
so,
there
like,
for his abs and
But
his comic relief.
For me, because Blade 3 was not good.
I thought
Blade
it was
3 was
fine.
no. Blade 3 was
I
not good.
very
It's
much
a bad
enjoyed that
movie. It's a hilarious
Right?
character movie.
Because
though.
Ryan Reynolds, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't actually have
I mean,
interest, really.
Wesley Snipes, he was not the Blade that he was in the first movie, which is what bugged me. Like the one scene where he's driving up and he almost hits his bike or his car and he like blows a kiss at it. I'm like, that is not Blade in the first movie.
No.
That
And-
said, Blade was comical enough, but it's like he turned more black. As
Yeah.
rude as that, I don't mean that to sound rude, but
Well, I think partially from what it was is by the time Blade 3 came around, he was done with the character.
although supposedly he's going to come back in a multiverse.
I don't think he's ever been done with the character.
he just went to jail for a bit.
Blade
Right?
3, he had big issues with the director.
Yes.
He wouldn't do what he was told. And
But he was also coming out of Major League and all that too, where he had to play that.
Well, David Grower, that was like his first, that was his directorial debut.
Goyer?
Goyer.
Goyer, is that how you say
Yeah.
it? I've been saying it Greyer for years.
Goyer.
Well, I don't know where the extra R came from, but you know, man, what a way to go.
But it's true, David Goyer's written some of the greatest comic book movies before the MCU came out. And then, yeah, he tried as a director and didn't quite pan out for him. Although Dominic Purcell was pretty amazing in Blade 3.
What did he direct?
Blade 3.
Okay, so I like the movie. I didn't see. I don't understand the hate. Why it was so bad? It was a schlocky action comedy.
Well, and that's, I think, what
thing,
made it, because the
whatever.
first one was practically
Dark
a
and-
horror
yeah.
movie, yeah.
Yes.
And so when they turned it into
The-
schlocky comedy, I'm
Yeah.
like,
And that
See, I
was,
enjoyed the third one much more than the first two.
I
that
love
was,
this
that was
so
more
much.
my issue is because it came the comedy.
So it was a tonal change, is why.
Yeah.
Part,
Yeah,
of, part of
literally.
the reason why
And-
you think it was
and
bad
when you're
and hated it.
when you're a horror person and you're going into it like you've got this action horror, that's what you want the rest of the way
Yeah.
through.
and he
I
played it so
understand
well,
that.
too.
He did.
I feel like the third one was a huge downgrade from the first two.
It was.
And
It
that was
a
why
huge
I didn't
change
like.
for
Well, the
sure.
second one was kind of a standalone
Yeah.
because that was like Del Toro freaking running the show.
Well, they didn't have a through line for a trilogy, did they?
Not
Like
really.
you say, the first one was it itself.
There was-
second was all alone.
They allude to
They
Whistler
had
getting
nothing.
shot in the first movie, and they bring him back in the second movie. So they have the Whistler storyline carry through.
Okay,
But
so
that's,
I didn't
that's
know.
about it. Yeah, but
But-
Guillermo del Toro doing the second movie and Luke Goss playing the main vampire guy, fucking was amazing.
Luke, the second one.
Yeah, he played the bag of vampire, you know, blah, and all that stuff.
I'm trying to remember what he looked like. 'Cause I know. Okay, I just know he was bald.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he looked like a creature of sorts. But either way, he was.
I
he was
might
really
have to give the third one a rewatch because I remember very much disliking it when it came out.
I mean, it was fun.
Triple H had the first line in the movie.
Huh?
Who?
Triple H
Oh,
had
yeah.
the first line in the movie.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like I love Triple H as a heel, and he was fun. They didn't overdo his lines, and he was corny and whatever. But like I wasn't attached
Okay,
to
but
Blade
that-
1 and 2 either.
My favorite 1-2 was Ryan Reynolds and Parker Posey.
Oh yes.
Their dynamic
Oh,
together
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
Parker Posey was in that
Yeah,
movie?
she's like the right hand girl vampire.
The three,
Really?
I don't know. For me, it was Triple H and the frickin' Pomeranian.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember. That's about the only thing I remember from that movie is like a stupid car chase scene where it's just like, this is terrible CGI or whatever the fuck this is. And then the Pomeranian that
Yeah.
opens up its mouth. Those are the two things
have you
I
seen
remember.
my dog? Have you looked in the lobby?
I hated that one character, and he's I know him more for Pitch Perfect. He's one of the two announcer people with what's her name from the Hunger Games.
The makeup guy?
No, well, in Hunger Games, it was the one with the chick from Saturday Night Live and whatever she did.
She was like the
did Charlie's
announcer
Angels.
in there?
Yes, and the guy that was with her
Was that?
he was in Blade 3, and I found him just absolutely annoying.
What character was he? Like, what did he, like, not name per se, but what did he play?
Well, he played kind of like a protector of the. He was a non-vampire, but he would protect.
Oh, was he the
vampire.
guy that was on the TV show?
Yeah,
the doctor or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He was
That's
in
John
there.
Michael Higgins.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything where I liked with him.
Fired up. One day we're going to do that movie, and he's fucking hilarious in that movie.
In which one?
Fired Up.
You know, it's funny that Blade Trinity is more a precursor for I was gonna say Daredevil. My God, Deadpool than Wolverine Origins. Like Wolverine Origins should have been the precursor to this movie, and it was not.
And I do like how they made fun of it.
Oh yeah, but they didn't make fun of Blade. Where like
but Blade was Sony.
Oh, so they couldn't make fun of
No.
it? Oh, I don't know if
I don't know if that's.
I thought Blade was Marvel.
It
Like,
was
Marvel,
but it was Sony Studios. Sony owns, remember, the
Sony
Spider-Man
had
villains,
Spider-Man
and
and
Blade was
Blade.
technically a Spider-Man villain. Well,
See, I
anti-hero.
thought Blade was like the first Marvel original, like a Marvel produced original, but Sony distributed.
Correct.
So I don't think Sony
But I mean,
ever
Punisher
had the
was
rights.
before Blade.
I don't know if that was Marvel produced though.
It was
You
in
don't get the
association with
Thing
Marvel.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
It
But
Blade,
it was before that.
Blade was like the beginning of Marvel Studios. You can blame Blade for the MCU existing because it was the first Marvel movie productions movie.
I thought that was Spider-Man.
No,
No.
Spider-Man was not produced by Marvel. Neither was X-Men. But if you look, Blade was.
Yes.
Huh.
At least the first
I'm
Blade.
just trying to think because like the first couple, as we know, MCU were not Disney MCU.
No.
No,
So-
because
so they
Incredible
took over-
Hulk is still not. But
Yeah,
is,
that's Universal.
But not.
Yeah,
but,
they reference it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't under Disney in any stretch.
and yet Robert Downey Jr. is at the end of it, tying it in.
That was so annoying.
Don't you guys appreciate how they explain why he's got a red suit in this movie? He's just,
Yeah, to hide
all
the blood. Yeah.
And yet it was a blind woman that told him.
Well,
It
yeah.
was awesome.
She said, "Or you do red to hide the blood." Yeah.
And then the end. You were right, honey. I do look good in red.
Yeah, he is
here-
just covered in blood.
Here we go. Yeah. What's
The
that?
fourth wall-
A fourth wall break during a fourth wall break? That's like 16 walls.
See, he's not very ugly anymore. It's almost like he's got really bad eczema.
Really bad
Well,
eczema.
yeah, but it's certainly not some.
But like you're
pussy
talking about chunks
cancer or
missing, that wouldn't happen from being suffocated.
Well,
No,
his
it's cancer. He's supposed to be
his
mid-cancer.
cancer's on the outside.
Yeah.
He's
Supposedly, it's metastasized to the outside.
Yeah.
Is that what that means? That's mind blowing for me. I never even thought of that.
You didn't realize that's why he looks that way?
No, I thought it was just from
Yeah.
getting rid of all the oxygen in his blood that it caused it. Yeah.
I read someplace that he's the opposite of Wolverine, where Wolverine gets heals from everything. He's constantly dying on the outside, and the cancer's like kind of keeping him alive because it's the cancer that's reproducing. Is this the funniest? Is this the funniest death in like movie?
I'm gonna kill you with a Zamboni.
In 5 minutes.
That's a Michael Myers play.
I love the fact that his mask actually moves with his facial expressions.
Like the eyes and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yes.
I think those are CG too.
No, I think the mask is 100%.
Not yet. I think in the second one they did because Spider-Man didn't get mechanicized until Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then they started getting the mechanics of it.
And then it got.
Oh, you know,
I hated Starkman.
Stark Man.
Tony Stark's Spider-Man suits.
Oh,
I-
yeah.
And that was one of the big things I didn't like about the new Spider-Man. It's
That was
just
the
like,
only thing I
It's
did.
no
'Cause I love the
longer
Spider-Man
it's no
movies.
longer about Peter. It's about his suits.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was just like that's the only thing.
Like when he made his own suit, it was fantastic.
But
all tech,
they
wasn't he?
tied it right into where Peter would be the new Tony Stark.
Which
He's never gonna-
yeah, I was gonna say he never was.
He does. I mean, there's a lot of Spider-Man fans that hate the Spider-Verse movies, or not the Spider-Verse.
I was like,
they love the
pardon me?
cartoons.
Yeah.
They hate the Tom Holland arc because of what they've done to Spider-Man, and we're talking like he's fought. He's been into space. He's worked with the Avengers, and he's still a fucking 15-year-old kid. He behaves like he has never learned anything. And this is not my opinion. These are a lot of super fans that really don't like that element.
I feel like he's the best of all the Spider-Man elements. Like, Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man, and Tom Holland's the best total package.
I agree.
I
Well,
don't
then again,
know.
Tom Holland too was the only one who was in the right age range.
See,
Well, yeah,
Tom
no,
Holland
Tom
was the-
Holland's like in his late 20s now.
Now,
Yeah,
See, Tom Holland had the worst arc. Story.
but yes.
yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I don't know if I disagree with you.
I would-
I think I might agree.
I don't know
with
if I would say that Andrew Garfield had a better arc. Like,
you. He had a Ben. He had an Uncle Ben. A reason for us to get behind him.
well, guess
They stripped that from Holland. They stripped everything. They gave him
But
tag.
they didn't strip it. They showed it in the opening credits. Remember the little montage in the beginning credits? They
Little
talked.
3 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh, Ben
yeah.
died.
Yeah. By the
No,
way,
they were trying to put the focus on Stark.
but yeah, you're right. That's the only thing because I love the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
I thought they were okay.
They are my favorite movies in the MCU. That said, I hate the Stark part. So
I agree.
yeah, I wouldn't call them my favorite. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely my favorite MCU movies, but
to no one's surprise.
yeah, I did play "Come and Get Your Love" at my wedding, I guess.
Now I have that
Come
song.
Wednesday night. That's all I have to say. I'm so excited.
Chelsea, are you listening? We are.
Chelsea.
We're counting down.
Yeah, we miss
She's
you.
in cameras right now. You know that, right?
Is she really?
Did you not see her picture earlier?
No.
Son of a bitch!
Right?
What are you doing, Chelsea? Not calling us?
I was gonna say something inappropriate.
Me,
but that's not fair,
Chelsea
so-
doesn't like you.
Like, fuck.
That's
I don't know.
inadequate.
Chelsea loves me.
I've never met her. You treat her like an object. So
Recognize the
whatever.
bowling alley?
She's mine.
That's not Jason, is it?
Oh, let's
No.
see.
Okay.
There's Jason.
But Dason's like,
Holy shit.
wow,
But yeah, it's,
wow,
I saw
Dason, you got an
this.
old
He's
kid.
hanging out with Steven on Wednesday.
I
Yeah.
saw this.
I haven't
and
told
it's
Steven yet, but
She's totally in cameras.
Well, who's that?
comment
with her?
you, bitch.
Right? But, you know, cameras, 5-pin bowling. And it's like,
We could have gone with her.
We
right?
could have gone.
But I think she was spending time with family.
Yeah.
Or
that's
other-
fair. I don't even know who that girl
did
was.
she
so-
finally sell her place here?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
she sold it last year?
Oh, good. I was actually wondering the same thing.
Yeah, no, she sold it last year.
Look at the baby hand.
That is the creepiest part of this whole fucking movie.
That's more horrific than the other scene.
No, the most disturbing thing is the cum unicorn and socks. Or Crocs?
Crocs.
The cum Crocs and the unicorn.
No, we
That's
don't
the most-
get to see it though, so it's
No,
not
no.
that.
I'm okay with it.
He shows you himself jacking off to the unicorn while it's pressed to his forehead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, we don't see it.
Right.
That's what my point.
The pegging's a little
Punk.
disturbing too. You know what makes this movie? They're arguing about IKEA. Like,
Yeah, they're like dropping all those Swedish. I guarantee they're all made up. They're literally ad-libbing names as they go. So. She's so awesome.
I'm surprised they didn't just get Wanda Skies for this role, because, like,
I can see that.
that's just
Oh, I
who.
find her so annoying. I
She
can't
is annoying, but
stand
it's her style. Like,
I like her. I
holy
like.
crap, excuse me.
I like her much better.
This is the most disturbing scene right here.
We all masturbate. Come on.
And not into unicorns.
No.
Why would that be an issue? Everybody's into something else.
I mean, no, anyway.
I guess.
I do not want to know if any of you masturbate with Crocs on. Just saying.
High five. Good, 'cause
I
that's the hand
will
I
let
use.
you know
So
the truth.
be
Yeah.
like this.
Oh,
This is actually Gina Carano there, or however you pronounce her last name. I didn't know who she was before this movie, and when I saw her, I'm like, frick, she's great. Like, she's got that mixture of butch and pretty, like, all into one type thing.
When she was fighting, she was so lean and hot, and then she put on a little, and then the naturalness just elevated that for me. I really like her as a character.
I was gonna say something about something, but I can't remember what that something was.
Something, something dark side, something complete.
Yes, yes. Let the
Oh,
hate
you were
flow
gonna
through.
say something. So here's my. When are you fixing the water?
What water?
Apparently, the water restriction's worse now.
Oh, I can't do anything about it. That's a.
It's worse than stage 2 now?
Yeah. Apparently, we're not supposed to water the lawns now.
No,
My
every
lawn is
second day.
dead. Fuck my lawn.
Every second day.
My lawn is
my
trashed.
plants and my vegetables are not
And
going to be
after,
happy
or
with every
before
second
or
day.
after a certain time.
And then odd number, even number houses and all that.
We've never watered
what?
our lawn.
So for
Yeah.
those living in the city of Camrose, with the stage 2 restriction currently on, it is because of the lake levels, and there is absolutely nothing we can do about it because we just got to let Mother Nature fill the lake back up again.
Oh, I'm not arguing it.
Like
so-
there's
My
absolutely
vegetables-
nothing we can do about it.
My
It is what it is.
vegetable. I'm going to go start buying
My
bags
pool
of
at,
ice.
at work, we're not allowed. The city called us directly and said, "Yeah, you guys, if you don't need to fill up your pool, don't fill up your pool." So
There are some thoughts that I am not going to share on a public forum that I have about that. Maybe I will discuss afterwards, but there are certain things that are happening that I don't always 100% agree with, but
that's every
this
job,
is
though.
not the
And-
forum to discuss
No.
that.
Like,
Moving on.
And yeah, no. I wasn't fully expecting an answer from you either.
It's funny, we got the North Reservoir up and running at High Lift 3, and then after that was up and running, restrictions.
But you know what? Shit happens. We haven't had enough rain. So,
Well, yeah.
It's coming. This week it's coming.
We're in a big heat wave, and
Tomorrow's the last day of it. It says it's going to be down to like 24 the next day.
yeah,
Oh,
up
really?
Yeah.
up until Big Valley, then it hits 31 again.
well, at Big Valley, there's always a super crazy hot 30-plus day.
And then a storm. Like
Yeah,
a
there's
massive
always
storm.
a massive storm at
Okay,
Big Valley
don't say
Jamfrey.
that because I'm working it.
I'm working it, but just not it. I'm going to be dealing with the people. Well, I shouldn't say that. 80% of our clientele is going to be not drunk in public. So,
We
99.9% of our clientele are drunk in
yes.
public.
No, you got it worse off than we do.
Yes.
Plus, we have an air-conditioned building.
I'm on call for that weekend. There's always something
Oh.
that happens.
I'm on call.
Your on-call schedule sucks ass. Have I ever told you that?
Yeah. You know who makes the on-call schedule?
I would say it's you.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
It's all
I try to
their
be
fault.
fair. I didn't take Christmas, and I could have taken Christmas. Someone else offered to take Christmas, so I figured August is okay.
You're gonna come
So-
walk the parade at least, right?
I get the time off during the parade. I'm probably
I should
not
be in
gonna
it
help.
again this year.
I
So
was asked to be a judge.
At the parade?
Yep.
You gonna do it?
No,
We are not.
I have to work.
Well,
weirdo.
So-
Anyway.
stupid work.
I have to make a living.
I am going to be working too, but I will be in the parade as part of work
We're not entering in a float this year. We're just walking.
We
on behalf of.
6 cameras.
Okay.
my
That's what I figured. I was just
my work allows us to take a couple hours off for the parade, and we get paid for it.
Ours does too, but that means I have to take off my coveralls and boots, go leave,
Wow,
stand in a bunch of
coveralls off, my
fucking
God.
heat,
So,
which is usually the case, and then I gotta go right back to work. So.
so Mark comes home the day after the parade, which I've 100% stranded my husband at the airport because I committed to this fucking weekend.
Well, it's too bad you didn't have one of your adult-age children that had licenses.
Yeah, you know what? He did really good at Craven.
Did he?
He was driving around all over the place.
He left yesterday, right?
And I usually leave
Mark-
town
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
fair.
I mean, this is like the Big Valley thing.
We're
right?
not gonna leave on holidays until the week after because I'm gonna be
You're
spending
missing
my
the movies, Corey.
Is this
Ford.
okay? We need a random ranking here, okay, guys?
I
Stan
hate
Lee
it.
ranking. It's going to
I
be a Stan
hate
Lee
it.
ranking,
I
isn't
know
it?
exactly where you're going.
Top 3 Stanley cameos. Top 3.
I was done after he did it twice.
After
I have
he
no
did it
interest.
twice.
I have no interest in seeing a Stanley cameo.
Well, you never have to see it ever again.
Thank God.
No, they're CGI-ing them into them now.
Here's a hot take, and everybody that's an MCU fan is going to hate me for it. He's not who we think he is. He's not a great creator. He's a marketer at best. And he's one of the most overrated personalities in all of comic world.
But he's dead, so he's not any of those.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways, number 1,
It's obviously the
Nope.
strip club scene.
Avengers 2.
Oh yeah,
What did
yeah.
Tony Stank.
Oh yeah, Tony Stagg.
Yeah. That one was pretty good.
Since do you have one that you actually like, Mike?
None. They're irrelevant. I mean, it's just like whatever. I mean, they're cameos for a reason. They throw them in there, and then none of them are profound or really meaningful. They're just there for the fun gratuity of having them in there.
What about when he did it for Mallrats. Does that count as a? That was
I
back.
think it's the same thing. It's fine. He did it because he was a comic guru to Kevin. It's fine.
Although
I don't.
he played himself in Mallrats, he doesn't play himself in these.
Oh, this is true.
This is true.
Was he ever in Hulk with Lou Ferrigno Hulk?
No, wait.
No.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
you might have.
I do
He
not.
was one
remember.
of the jury members in the trial of Incredible Hulk.
Oh, is that the one with Thor?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
Okay. I thought the Trial of Incredible Hulk had Thor.
I don't know.
No, yes.
Or was that the one with
Are you
Daredevil
sure?
in it?
No, Daredevil was the first movie.
It would make sense that the lawyer character's in the Trial of the Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember the scene where he's sitting in his living room talking to Daredevil, but I can't remember the movie it's from. But yeah. And then you've seen American Pie 2, right? You know the big gay dancer guy that Stifler faces off with in that scene? That's the guy who played Thor in the old Incredible Hulk show.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Now I'm never going to see Thor the same way again.
Now you know. Well, the original Thor,
Like
right?
Yeah, right.
Bill Bixby Thor, yeah. Like,
Yeah, I'm never going to see him the same way ever again.
So we know Mike's thought. What about you, Laura? What's your favorite cameo from Stanley?
I can't remember which movie it was in, but it's when he's on the planet with those other two aliens and he's telling the story.
When he's the Watcher?
Watcher, yeah.
I love it when he's the Watcher. That's Guardians too.
Yes.
I think my favorite cameo from him is Teen Titans Go, because he's in Teen Titans Go, and he's walking on the thing, and he's just like, wait a minute, this isn't a Marvel movie. Whatever.
Is that-
I love cameos, and that could have possibly been his last cameo ever, because he died very shortly after that.
Is that go to the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I still haven't seen it. I really want to see that,
is
just out
go-
of sheer
That is
boredom.
going to be one of my picks one of these months.
I will get behind that.
Yeah, well, that movie...
Because
yeah.
I watched the show with my kids, but I
do ya?
never watched the movies. Well, I don't anymore. Like back in the day when they were
Mm-hmm.
probably in their early teens type thing. So
Like Teen Titans Go or Teen
go,
Titans?
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his last cameo was actually the posthumous, or whatever.
Avengers...
No, Madness in the Method.
Part of what I hate.
Oh, really?
What is that?
That's a Jason Mewes movie,
Yep.
which I did not realize came out... I thought that came out before Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
And he-
2019. So no, because Endgame would have came out in 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
17 or 18. One
So,
of the
and
two.
this is like,
Because I was working
it
at the
was-
theater still.
it's
So.
his last appearance after death, yeah. So, but they had already filmed all of that before he died.
Well, it turns
So-
out he's not much good once he's dead. So
Well, you know what? They CG a lot.
Hey, it's the people's sexiest man alive. Man, that's why
yeah.
T.J. Miller doesn't like Ryan Reynolds, because all of his friends are sexiest man alive, and T.J. Miller's never been sexiest man alive.
well, T.J. Miller is a glory hound, and when he doesn't get glory, he thinks everyone else is sabotaging him.
I do love the effort they go
What
to
if
get all
he's
these guns.
Bum bum bum.
What if who's right?
Miller's right. They are trying to sabotage him.
I think they have better things to do
We
than sabotage
don't
T.J.
know.
Miller.
We can't sit here and say for facts. You know, I mean, I don't know why.
T.J. Miller said a lot more bad stuff about Ryan Reynolds than Ryan Reynolds said about
I've
T.J.
never
Miller.
heard him say anything bad about Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, he has.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
There's-
Well, I
he
haven't
has.
heard it. So
Yeah.
I
But-
heard
but when-
last interview I seen. He talks about him, and he talks about him in a good way.
R-
You know, he
Ryan Reynolds, when asked about him, just kind of skirts the issue.
yeah.
And
Ryan Reynolds
Which is what you do. When
I
you've
would say
done
Ryan
something
Reynolds
wrong.
is smart. He's a very diplomatic person. He knows how to deal with the press.
Yeah.
He skirts everything
He's-
serious. So
He does.
Ryan
he really
Reynolds.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And it's I think that's kind of the thing too. Is like I am looking for my taste in movies. I like comedies are fun or whatever, but my taste lies in something profound and more dramatic. So I seriously wouldn't get into the Marvels or the whatever in cameos. I absolutely fucking hate cameos in general because they're
Yes,
a gratuitous,
I think it is too.
shallow, low level. What?
Keep going.
They're a shallow, low-level way to garner attention without legitimacy. Continue.
There's some validity to
No,
that.
there's not. Oh, yes, there is. I thought you mentioned the character.
I was
Okay,
so
you're
confused.
right, Mike.
I
You're
actually should have stuck
You were
with that.
so ready to argue with me that you're just like, yeah.
I just want your cup.
The empty.
What do you want my
Yeah.
cup?
But sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, so ready to argue with people, he will argue against
Well,
himself.
I made an assumption that you were going to say that the
I know, you
cameos
make a lot
were-
of assumptions.
Really? You want to start that? Holy fuck, man. What do you want? A cup? Oh, fuck, because you're innocent as all fuck. Okay, let's go.
Cry over a cup.
So, what me and Corey were pointing out there,
That Corey
Is
was
that-
gonna cry over the cup.
so this could be an MCU movie because...
No.
That looks like the helicarrier from the Avengers that crashed.
Yeah, that's a SHIELD helicarrier.
It's not an MCU movie because it's not made by the MCU. That's the only reason.
But they've confirmed that's the helicarrier. That was confirmed
If
by
you-
Ryan Reynolds.
Go ahead, whatever.
Big
Make it sound a
mansion,
teenage
nobody
warhead.
people. Big mansion, nobody in this.
Because Fox could only afford 2 X-Men.
If only they'd known how much money this movie was going to make.
It's the Hello Kitty backpack that gets me.
I love how they forget the guns. They spent all this effort getting the guns.
My favorite side character in this movie, maybe besides, because I do love T.J. Miller. I don't know why. I think he's a deplorable human being, but he can be really funny. Regardless, I fucking love the cab driver.
Right?
Yeah, he was... If they would have had him more, would have been too much for me.
Yeah, no, he's like
It-
Sprat of Ice Age. You know, the little doses make it great. If they were to make a full movie of him, I would never watch it.
It's the guy in the trunk.
Oh my god, and then he gets in the
Or
car.
whatever his
He
name is, yeah.
gets in the car accident with the guy in the trunk. Oh my god.
I did not
Deadpool's
tell him that.
You don't want to do it.
I am
I'm
so,
so proud of you.
You're gonna take him somewhere and let him go. Kill him.
I love how Colossus is in the back seat and gets like,
Punched in there, yeah.
I want to know how, cranky teenager is fitting in there with him.
oh,
She's pretty tiny.
she's pretty tiny. She's not a very big thing. I got to admit, I think she's only in here because, one, the character's rights were cheap, and 2, because it's a cool-ass name.
And
Yes.
3, because they couldn't afford any other X-Men.
Well, that's kind of what I said.
No.
That was like
Well,
my first
she's
point.
cheap,
The
yes,
character's
but
rights
she's
were cheap.
also, the character rights were cheap, yes.
Yeah.
But it would have been better, I don't know, in the second one it would have been better if they had Hugh Jackman, even just for a spot scene.
He was
He
in
was
the
in the
statue.
second one.
on
No,
the, when he's
actually
sitting around.
telling him
And
off.
he was in the end.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He's just like, sorry, cleaning up the timeline.
When they go into the set of
Oh.
Wolverine Origins, essentially. So.
And he goes back and shoots Hitler? Yeah.
No. He
Yeah,
said
he
was
did.
going
He
to.
wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't shoot baby Hitler.
Yeah. I think it was unnecessary to have the whole love interest for Negasonic in the second movie. It was funny every time. It was like, "Hi Wade, hi Yu-Gi-Oh."
No, I enjoyed that.
But
I enjoyed it.
I think she would have been fine as a character instead of throwing the.
No,
Interesting.
I think it was a cool way to introduce her. Like, I think it was a funny way. Like, it's an angsty teenager thing to have, like, Oh,
And he's so concerned about the guy getting crushed in
that
the
guy in the trunk. The guy in the trunk is totally dead. Oh.
But he's not because he's yelling.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
In pain. He's
Right?
dying.
dying.
I was waiting for Bob from Hydra to show up in these movies, and I was like hoping he'd have a bigger role in the second one. But I do love how they Bob. That's one of my favorite fight scene moment in any movie. Just stop killing
I haven't seen you since Jacksonville or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Did he not shoot him and kill him in this movie?
No, he
No,
knocks him out with the butt end of his sword.
Yeah. And then he drags him
I thought
off.
he shot him.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that scene last.
Oh, superhero landing! That is so impractical.
It totally hurt the knees.
She looks like a total
Oh, you want him
badass.
to land stiff-legged? Because
Well,
that's way
what
harder.
he says.
Gets levels out.
Fucking right hook from hell.
Oh.
I like the part in the bridge. Sorry, it just made me think of it, where he's got Francis like pinned up, and then he looks and he's gone. He's like,
But that's what makes Deadpool so good. He's like part Bugs Bunny, part Wolverine, part Spider-Man, right? Like he's just.
I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of Coyote in there too.
Well, maybe a little bit of Wile E. Coyote.
I love how I think it's in the third movie they have the storefront called Liefeld's Feet or something like that.
I think that's the second one.
Is it the
The
second one? I
second one?
couldn't remember, but I just thought that was absolutely hilarious because,
I was gonna say I haven't seen the third one yet, so.
well, I thought I saw it in a still or something, but it's like from a guy who can't draw feet because Liefeld and Jim Lee was just as bad. All they did was like diamonds for feet.
He
So-
was a fuck of a lot better than Liefeld.
Well, Lee, I love Jim Lee, so
Well, I know.
I'm a big.
But Jim Lee is not the same as
No,
Liefeld.
but
He had
their
good
feet,
triangles.
but their feet, though, yeah, that's the only thing Jim
Yeah.
Lee was bad for, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I've been following, like Jim Lee got me into comic books.
If you're
that's
looking
how.
at their feet, he's doing something else wrong.
That's well, because I drew Jim Lee
This-
got me into drawing. I could
comic
draw a
book
Jim Lee
wedgie
picture
is
just by looking at it.
I know, he's
So-
one of the best ones too.
And now he's in
Totally
a
agree.
fantastic position now. So
My opinion, out of that era of artists, Todd McFarlane is head and shoulders above both those guys.
I disagree. And that's a subjective thing. He's a little too. He goes too far with the.
cross hatching.
No, the body. Okay, your head is this big, then your shoulders have to be this big, and then proportion. He pushes the proportions too much for me. So
Well, see, I would have thought that with Jim Lee or like especially with Liefeld. Like Liefeld, everything's so.
Liefeld is the worst artist that ever.
He,
Oh, don't
I don't know if I want to call him the worst artist ever,
He's the
but
worst published artist that I've ever seen.
I'm trying to think of worse actually right now. So.
Yeah. I mean, the famous Captain America.
What I liked about Todd McFarlane, because Todd McFarlane's easy my number 2.
I did like him. Don't
Um,
get me wrong. I just don't think he's there. I mean, we could argue Michael Turner before he passed away, but
No, but
I did really like Michael Turner art. Like really, really.
But what McFarlane did well is contortioning his characters.
It-
Like,
that's-
Spider-Man, his legs were always every which way. Spawn, he had brooding down, then he had action down, and the chains and everything. Like, McFarlane is easily a solid number 2 for me. But I grew up with Jim Lee comics. That's how I learned who the X-Men were. That's who like when X-Men 1 was rebranded there. That's
That
when
was
I got
Jim
into
Lee
comics.
and-
Yeah, I have the omnibus for that. It's this thick. Every single Jim Lee X-Men in one book. I bought it from London, England. I wasn't there. I ordered it online. $120 for this book. It is amazing.
This is a perfect break in the fight
I haven't seen you
since Jacksonville. I was really hoping Bob was going to become. Oh, he headbutts him.
But
Sorry.
even after he's dragging him away, did your wife still make that tuna salad? It was great.
How, he headbutt him with the helmet.
Oh, and then this part here too. Yeah.
Oh, the boob.
Yeah. Whoa. That's such a Colossus thing to do, right?
It totally is. At the same time, this movie's a hard R. Move the hand.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
not the
That's so
first
sweet.
boob we've seen.
well,
It's not the first boob we've seen. We've seen
oh
boobs.
no,
I just
yeah,
wanted to
in the
peanut
strip
butter
club and
noodles.
whatever, but Colossus wasn't there.
Well, he
Francis
did say
with
you
dead
would spell
bodies.
it out for him.
What's his name?
Which one?
Francis?
Ajax.
What's that?
Ajax.
Okay, he's trying to get him to say Ajax.
Yeah. His real name is Francis.
Because that I missed.
Because he got it from his clothing, his dry cleaning tag.
Yeah. And Ajax just sounds like a cleaning supply for me anyway.
Oh,
so.
totally, right?
You know, did anybody else ever hear of Negasonic Teenage Warhead before this movie? Because
No.
I'm a comic book geek and I'd never heard of her before.
No,
No, she was like a one-off in one. Ryan Reynolds tells the story of how they picked her.
Yeah,
Like they said,
it's purely the name, right?
No, it was the most. I mean, it might have been partly, but I know it was this obscure super thing that showed up in the middle of nowhere, and no one will ever possibly know what they are. And maybe it was the name. I mean, it could have been the name.
It's a pretty badass name.
It's a badass name. Like even the love interest, like she's copycat in the comic books, right? Like I've even heard of the obscure.
Who, her?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's copycats in the comic books. But, you know, Negasong, a teenage warhead. I've never fucking heard of that before. Never.
It's all because of the name. 100%.
Yeah, and I go back. I had the first appearance of Rogue, which was in an Avengers comic.
Yeah.
Where Rogue and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants attack the Avengers, and it's, you know, badass. Then I had the very first appearance of Rogue for the X-Men. It was called Welcome to the X-Men Rogue, and she comes to their door like saying, you know, I'm sorry, I want to help, and they take her in. And again, that's how far back. That was 86. How far back I had some of this stuff. I don't know where it is now. It's gone forever. But either way, like I saw. Point is, I came across some really obscure characters back in my day, and yeah, I don't remember that name.
So we're getting close enough to the end of this movie. I feel like I can ask now. I'm going to start with you, Corey. Corey, what genre is Deadpool? You know, we got a lot of dead air here coming on, Corey.
Thinking.
That's a lot of dead air.
You know what? I'm going to go with action.
You think it's an action
Yeah.
movie? You know, it was an action guy that did it. Was he... Like, he was an action choreographer, right? That was the director?
this?
Something Miller, I do believe. Tim Miller, I want to say.
This was Tim. Oh yeah, it was Tim Miller.
He was known for, like, his action scenes.
Well, he did Fury Road.
Well, he wasn't the producer, but the
Oh.
director, but he directed some of the scenes.
Like
Some of
he
the action.
directed Mad Max. The
Yeah,
original?
the sequel with Tom Hardy.
Didn't he also do the original?
Did he?
No,
Maybe.
you guys are thinking George Miller, not Tim Miller.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Well, that's
But-
I was going off of the Fury
No.
Road thing, not
I
anything
thought
else.
that was sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tim Miller was like...
Too many damn Millers in comics.
He's known. Before this, he was known
Frank
as who's also directed movies. Like he directed
Sin
Spirit.
City.
No, well, he did have a bit in Sin City, yeah, but that was kind of Robert Rodriguez over
Yeah, I
arching.
suppose. Yeah.
Which one did he direct? Was it the Yellow Man, the Yellow Bastard? I think it was in Sin City.
Oh, I don't remember.
And I haven't seen Sin City in forever.
I remember watching the sequel in the theater, and
Yeah.
that's the last thing I remember. So
I think that was Frank Miller, the director.
Oh, he did Terminator Genesis. You love that.
Oh.
I liked that movie.
I did too. He did some Love, Death, and Robots stuff.
Of course.
Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a pinnacle word. Whatever.
I love this scene where he's got the brain damage with the knife in his head. Oh.
She calls him an asshole.
Okay, Laura, I gotta. Does the finger? Oh, I
She
gotta.
calls him an asshole.
What genre is Deadpool, Laura?
He's
I'm gonna have
directed
to agree with Corey and put it in action.
You think this is an action movie?
Well, I'm only allowed to pick one, right?
Well, this is a movie that crosses many genres.
It
I do
does.
believe. Like, is superhero a genre?
No.
Not by their standards, because it wasn't.
I think if we were
blockbuster.
still around, they would have to make one.
They would have to, yes.
Yeah, a
If
section.
what?
If we were still around,
We'd have
Like
to have
our
a
stores?
superhero section.
times would have changed, and there would be a superhero section.
Well, it's become a genre upon itself
Right.
almost
Yes.
at this point.
Right, and then you could retroactively put so many things in it.
I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think video game movies have officially replaced comic book movies now in the cultural relevance.
I haven't seen enough or heard of enough video game movies
No.
for it to be relevant. to
I
that. It might be on its way.
Name me three.
It might be on a path, but I haven't
Mortal
noticed
Kombat,
enough.
Sonic.
Recently.
Okay,
Mortal
Good
Kombat,
ones.
Sonic.
Let's go with good ones.
the
I
new
forgot
Mortal
about- I forgot
Kombat is
about the new
pretty
Mortal
The new Mortal
Kombat. to be
Kombat-
The new
I haven't
Mortal
seen
Kombat's
that
pretty
one,
good.
So, but yeah,
Sonic's actually pretty good for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than it's got any business
If
being.
you have to follow
and
it
Mario.
for what it is, then it's probably
Well,
not
it's
a,
a kids movie, and it's actually
it got
pretty.
shit on pretty hard.
It was a lot better than it looked like it was going to be. It got shit on really hard when the thing first came out, but it's like it's pretty good now. Like comparatively, what it looked like it was going to be.
And all I can say is too much of a kids movie for me to get.
But
into.
literally, three video game movies: Mario, Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat, and Sonic.
Well, and Mario was one of the largest movies of last year, right?
Yeah.
And they've got the Overwatch movie coming this year, which
I
is
never heard nothing about
No.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I hadn't, like I heard everything about fucking Mario.
Mortal Kombat
They did
like
pretty good.
in the younger crowd. It's a very big movie. They're making a second one here,
Yep.
and
Which
it's
will be the fourth one
Technically.
yeah,
Technically,
in
yes.
total.
It
it's
But
quite
the
popular.
1995 one was a great movie for what it was. It's basically a 15-year-old's take on the lore from the comic, because they are from the game. They pretty much copied the game, so good for them. But it was toned down. Okay, fine, whatever. It was still an entertaining movie. The second one they've written off. They pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that one's
It
kind
was
of.
horrible.
I
The new
enjoyed
one
it for
wasn't
what it was.
bad. The new one was not bad at all, and so I am
It was a
excited for
step above the other two.
Yeah.
Well,
in quality,
as
anyway.
Quality, yes. I still have a soft spot. Mortal Kombat was the first movie I saw 3 times in the theater, so
But
I
we
just don't
should-
think there's enough of them out there for it to place what you were
Like
saying.
Uncharted is a pretty popular movie
Uncharted,
But it
among.
was
yeah.
shit. You know.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch it, so
It wasn't that good.
no.
I mean, and when
my
when I say
teenage
it was-
son loves it.
When I say it was shit, I also mean like they shit on it too.
Five
The public.
Nights at Freddy's, a very popular movie. A young
Five Nights at Freddy's
Want
were the
it.
top
ordered it.
grossing
I
movies
want it. I'll
of the
trade you my
20th
action
century,
figure.
of the 2020s.
so what?
I
Top
want an action figure.
grossing as per what they cost to make it.
Huh.
Because I guess
Well,
the kids
I
bought the
bet
shit out
you
of
I
it.
bet you Mario would be right up there too, and Sonic was
Nope.
quite successful.
Cost
Really?
money. It's the money money to make Mario dropped it down to there.
Really?
Where Five Nights at Freddy's, they spent I don't know what 80 million or whatever it is, but then they grossed. This is just like Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them shit for budget. They made the most out of it, and it grossed $1 billion or whatever it was.
Yeah, close to
And
this
Five
one.
Nights at Freddy's hit that. I was quite shocked on the 3 or 4 that was in the top there.
I was actually talking to my kids today, and I said, "Are they waiting way too late for these movies? Like Five Nights was supposed to be made 10 years ago, and it never happened. And finally happened. They're
don't-
making a Minecraft movie now.
I don't think that would have been like making an X-Men movie in the 90s. Wouldn't have worked. When they made the X-Men movie, it worked in the 2000s. But when it was hot was the early 90s, right?
Well,
And
X-Men
then-
'97. Like that's when the cartoon series was at its peak.
Yeah.
So
And they waited a few years and then they made them right and proper, right? Like some of them are a little like Mario is a 40-year-old property, right? But that movie made $1 billion.
Well, but it's not a dead property either.
Well, this is
Like
true.
Nintendo still, it's still
My-
the spokesman for Nintendo.
I guarantee they're making a Legend of Zelda movie. That
They already have, yeah.
have they?
They've already announced they're in the
Oh,
process.
okay.
But
was like, I don't remember a
they've
Legend
They
of
didn't
Zelda.
make it. They're in the process.
They've
of
been
it.
saying that for a while.
Yeah.
That movie's gonna make $1 billion.
and
Like-
if they're gonna reuse a character, it sounds very popular or possible
And
that
then
Anya
Link
is
and
gonna
Chick.
be. Well, no, that Anya is gonna be Zelda.
Oh, really?
Who?
Anya Joy Taylor.
Who's Zelda?
She was the voice. Of
Which
Peach,
one is
the-
Zelda?
The girl, the princess.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
So, Mike, before we get way too off a tangent,
We're not the
comedy.
way off tangent.
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
And it's not that it doesn't hit other genres, but that is the number one element of what it is. The second element is running off of a property of a comedy character from a comic book movie, and running on comic book movies and being comedic about it. So everything, just for me, too much is about comedy, even though it's an adventure movie, it's an action movie, it's a superhero movie, it's a comedy movie. It does not touch drama. Just because there's a dramatic scene does not make it a drama. So. And that sort of thing. So,
there's even a small love story in the middle of it.
There's
but
a
like,
romance.
like I say,
but that doesn't.
predominantly, you know.
Yeah. I would agree with Mike on this. This is a comedy. And that's why this movie works. Is because it's a comedy, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh, Deadpool would have not worked if he didn't break the fourth wall and do all that
That's
shit.
why Wolverine Origins didn't work. Because
Well, they could have made that better. They had like 150 levels to make it better than that without it actually being.
Wade
this
Wilson
guy.
was great in X-Men Origins. It was just when he
that's
became
what I mean.
Deadpool, he sucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was 4 great movies. Was it 4 great movies or was it 3 great movies in Wolverine? There was like 3 or 4 really good movies, and they got cobbled together into one bad movie. That's what happened with Wolverine Origins, I think.
Well,
Which one is that?
Wolverine Origins?
the one
Yeah, is that the
talking
one
about the
with
origins of
Liv
Wolverine.
Schreiber?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Which
there was,
he's arguably the best Sabretooth. Like, I love his...
Tyler Mane is coming back for the new movie. I'm so
see,
excited.
he wasn't Sabretooth to me.
Tyler Mane was Sabretooth.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like
To a T. Like, he nailed the character.
I mean,
Liv
he didn't have
Schreiber
a
was
line.
Liv Schreiber was not
Leah. Believe it or not. I heard him in an interview.
Oh yeah,
Leah.
I know, but
Yeah.
we're normal people.
Yeah.
He was not Sabretooth, just like Wolverine is, just like Hugh Jackman is not Wolverine. It's a cinematic version that does not tie to the characters in which they were derived from.
See, I feel like I've read enough of the Wolverine Sabretooth stuff where he's not just like a mindless killer. That's why I like the Liev Schreiber stuff.
I
With
agree.
him.
So, I guarantee it was because of Schreiber, but then give him the blonde, long hair. That's all.
fair.
That's all they needed to do, and nobody would have complained.
They just made him hairy.
Or something, because
More
Liev Schreiber, yeah, as a character, like portrayal, amazing, absolutely amazing. But in terms of looks, Tyler Mane had it down to a science.
But that would have been like me nitpicking on Hugh Jackman being 6 foot whatever,
Well, that's what
and
we were
not
just,
Canadian.
talking
No,
about.
we agree. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the nationality, that's kind of whatever.
And
But like Hugh Jackman made a great character. It's not a source material type, whatever.
Heath Ledger.
But
Yeah. And that was it.
what does that have to do with what I was saying?
Everything.
He wasn't. He was a. He was. I disagree with you there, Holy. There's a lot of stuff that he had that was based off of whatever. But we're not going to get into that. Cough, cough. Do you need a mint?
Yeah, something in my throat. I don't know what
There's
it
something
was.
in your throat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's you gonna judge it as a movie, or you gonna judge it as whatever you wanted it to be from the source material. That's the bottom line. We love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine because he created a new character, and he's charismatic, and he's a good actor, and he got jacked. But he's not really Wolverine.
Wolverine really wasn't a charismatic character, though.
No,
No.
the actor is.
No,
his
I know, but
charisma carries
it's-
to the actor.
It's funny because the character of Wolverine was never really exactly known for his charisma. So.
Exactly.
I know you're not looking forward to it, Mike, but I get everything that I've seen from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the new Deadpool movie has me super excited. It's gonna arguably be the angriest we've seen him.
And Daphne Keene's back, so that's cool.
The fact for me that he's just coming back to play Wolverine is enough.
See, the only reason I have any issues with it is I think they're not doing this anymore. They're not making a Deadpool movie. They're making a cameo-filled derivative of gratuitous nothingness, which is great for people that just want to see. I want to see him again, even though it means nothing.
Wasn't that pretty much what the second one was? I mean,
The
they
second
electric-
Deadpool?
Yeah, I mean they electrocute Brad Pitt, giving him a 5-second
That
scene.
was a
I-
single character in that one.
I think it was a little bit more than a cameo fest, but like, and there's gonna be a little bit of that in Wolverine and Deadpool, but
I love the idea if they would have went with it and had the Deadpool family.
they're
Let's-
gonna
well, I know,
they're gonna
but
have the
it's gonna
Deadpool
be-
family.
Yeah, but it's like it's going to be wasted under the weight of trying to connect it to the MCU, which I don't know if they're going to do. If they don't, I'll be happy. I will love it if they don't connect it.
Well, there is a dead Ant-Man body, so they are going to connect it somehow.
A dead Ant-Man.
Well,
Yeah,
See, I purposely avoided any
Sorry.
sort of spoiler for the show. So.
so addressing only what I know, the character playing Sabretooth. Not an MCU character. Neither was Liv Schreiber or Liev Schreiber or whatever. But I mean, see, that's what I mean. They're going to pull from wherever they want. It's going to have no continuity or anything else. It's just going to be as bad as Flash's Superman cameo thing, in my opinion.
I think it's gonna be the closest we can get to Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe that we will ever get cinematically, which excites the hell out of me because I love that storyline. It's
probably would've made it.
I
so
don't
much
know.
fun.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the roof, I
Yeah.
probably would. I have no idea what that is.
Or like it might even be Deadpool kills Deadpool. Like, but there's like a trilogy of
Corey's playing footsies with me.
Corey.
How you doing?
It's the Careless Whisper, right? It's
Yeah.
the Careless.
I can't
I
help
get
it.
it.
I can't help it.
There's Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool versus Deadpool, and Deadpool Illustrated is like a kind of non-canon trilogy of Deadpool comics
I'm shutting this down.
where he,
Yeah.
yeah, you can shut it down.
Okay.
Shut it down,
Some
Mike.
people get upset because we always see the
Yeah, we-
post-credit scenes.
Where he
Well,
comes out in the bathrobe.
Yeah.
it's a very like as far as post-credit
What?
scenes.
You're still here?
I love that he did the Ferris
away.
Bueller, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess it's that time of the night, guys. You guys know what time it is?
Peanut
Tool
butter
time.
jelly time.
Peanut butter chili. Peanut butter chili. Corey, do you mind if I start with you on this with
sure.
your final thoughts on the classic Ryan Reynolds movie, Deadpool?
I think we all said it best. This movie was exactly what it was set out to be. This was a lot of fun. It was fourth wall breaking. It was tongue in cheek at times and flat out in your face other times. Supporting roles were just as important as the big roles. Like this movie, if it didn't have the cab driver and if it didn't have his roommate there, would not be as funny. I'm willing to say that boldly. But everybody chipped in to make this movie fun. I mean, Marina Baccarin could have been anybody. She didn't stand out to me too much, but she's nice to look at, so that's okay. But
And that was kind of her role in this
yeah,
movie.
right. So I just said it. It set out to be exactly what it set out to be, and I enjoyed every second of it because of it. Obviously, far from a perfect movie, but as far as a comic book movie goes, and the character that it is portraying, it's a solid 4.5 out of 5.
4.5. That's a good ranking. Laura, you picked this movie in preparation for Deadpool and Wolverine.
I did, and also because after the weekend we had, I needed a mindless movie.
You needed some laughs, eh?
Yes, and this fulfilled it. It was definitely mindless. Really good laughs. You know, you go into it not expecting it to be serious, and that's the whole point of the movie. It's not supposed to be serious. It doesn't have to hold your attention, which is also nice. So even for me, I'm only going to give it a 4 out of 5. But I've never been huge on the Marvel movies, but this is one of my favorites, and it's not because of Ryan Reynolds.
Well,
There's another reason to like this movie.
Yeah.
Mike, we're going to move on to you. I'm curious your final thoughts on this movie, to be honest. I don't know where you're
I
going.
made it quite clear. I loved this movie. It was a great movie. It was everything it intended to be. It was a schlocky comedy that had a lot of fun. It had some gore, adult humor. I have no problems with it. It's not a... It doesn't belong connected to the MCU, and by connecting it to the MCU will diminish it. And when it officially becomes connected in my mind, I will downgrade it from the rating I give it today. So I think it's a fantastic film. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10 for fun, for
Holy
subjectivity.
shit.
But I subjectively love it. What's not to like about it?
Oh, no,
I'm
just shocked by your rating.
all the
I-
issues I took with it are created after I saw it. So
I don't know if I recall you ever giving a 9.5. Did you give the Green Book a 9.5?
He
I
did.
give it a 10.
You gave the Green Book a 10?
10.
That's the only
I
one
gave
where-
Accountant a 10 too. I think.
No,
Maybe.
you gave Accountant a, I
Did I give
think,
it a 9.5?
I think it
A
was
9.
a
I gave it a
9.
high one.
I thought it was a
9 or
I thought it was a
9.5.
9 for Accountant.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Objectively or subjectively? Because subjectively, I believe I gave it a 10.
I think it was objectively.
Yeah, objectively, if I look at this movie, and I'm trying to think, I don't see mistakes in what they were trying to do. It's like every joke landed, every intent for what they want hit. There was no missed moments. I think the emotional value they injected into it was was perfect. Didn't take away from the comedy. It and it led, like when he came out in an emotional moment, it quickly led into a finale of comedy with that thing, which is what we didn't want, the weight of real consequences in this movie. We didn't want that. I'm trying to find a way to pick it apart from when it came out, and it's very difficult. I can pick apart some actors and characters now because they didn't evolve as actors, and that's frustrating and annoying. But and I disagree with Corey on Bacharach, whatever the hell her name is. I can't remember names. Baccarin. I loved her, and I thought she played a very great aspect to it, and it would have been worse off without her. So I'll give this one. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.5. I don't know. I want to shit on it, but I can't. I would like to pick it apart because the pacing, the flow, there was nothing. Just trying to think. Oh no! Haha! Yes, he wasn't ugly enough. So 9 out of 10.
Because Ryan Reynolds wasn't ugly enough.
That's you can see I'm reaching there, but
Yeah.
but I think it's legitimate. I think
Am I
it's
a 10
legitimate.
to you, Mike?
Well, you're not Deadpool. So I mean, and that's a legitimate, in my opinion.
He should have been hideous. I would totally agree.
And he got nicer, and then he got hideous again at the end. He wasn't as bad in the middle as he was at the beginning.
The more damage he takes, the worse he looks. So
Yeah. So there's my biggest critique. So.
Oh, I got a bit of a hot take on this. Deadpool is a mediocre superhero movie with an amazing lead character. That's what I think about it. I think the story is a very basic story that if it didn't have the character that it had, the story would have fallen apart and been very weak. What this has is amazing characters, and I love a character-driven story. Like I would much rather have amazing characters and the story, sometimes fall apart around them. So, I love this movie for that.
I want to agree. That is a correct hot take. Although that's what it was designed for.
Exactly.
They didn't want to complicate the plot. They didn't want. They wanted very basic.
Yep.
And let the characters run with it, so it was intentful.
That was part of the problem with the second one, is that there was too much plot going on there.
That's standard.
There was the plot got out of the way of the characters, letting the characters be themselves here, and they were almost spot on with everybody. Like I don't think there was a missed character on this show. Like I'm trying to think of one where I'm just like, yeah, that character didn't land. They all landed amazingly. They all had superhero landings, albeit hard on their knees.
Just the one.
Just the one. Though she could take a punch from Colossus, so.
She punched him in the friggin' dick. That was awesome.
When this movie came out, I was just like, there is no way they are going to do Deadpool right. And I was so amazed that they actually did it. I was just like, those crazy bastards, they fucking did it. They did it. Like, I had such low expectations after Wolverine Origins. And,
See, they should have come up because... Oh, wait a minute. Wolverine, that's... Oh, no, it was still Fox, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't think Wolverine was a personal project for somebody. This was.
Oh, this was definitely,
why.
you could see the love come through from Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller, right? Like this was their baby.
Tim
right?
Miller hasn't done nothing significant when I Googled him.
Except for Deadpool. Because he's
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's the only thing of significance.
He's a stunt director. Like that's what he was before this. He directed that scene for someone else to make, and then they decided, no, fuck, we're gonna fucking make this.
So in the opening credits, does that make Tim Miller the overpaid douchebag?
Yes.
Okay.
This is in the same vein as how they created Black Nick Fury in the vein of Sam Jack. Ryan Reynolds made this his thing. Even though Ryan Reynolds was not big when Deadpool was first brought out, he made it his.
Did you know there was a Ryan Reynolds joke long before Ryan Reynolds was ever Deadpool? Like Deadpool made a joke. Yeah, I used to look like Ryan Reynolds in one of the old school comics.
Yeah.
And it's funny you bring up the Nick Fury thing. When they did the Ultimates, they purposely based him off of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
I can't. It doesn't fall into Last Crusade criteria. I guess I can't.
Why?
Because it's not crisp enough. Does that make any sense?
No.
Like, I need like a Jurassic Park or a Green Book to fall into that area, and this doesn't fit that criteria. And I've said before where sometimes a Raiders of the Lost Ark can be guessed as equally as high or close to a Last Crusade. This is, for me, a 100% Raiders of the Lost Ark. A fun movie all the way through. And I want to give like a little shove of Temple of Doom just for the gratuitousness.
So what was wrong with it from your mind? In that sense, why is it not the best movie ever?
Well, as I've tried to explain my ranking system
I don't care
before,
about your ranking. I don't give a shit about that. Why is it not the best movie ever? In words.
in words.
In words.
Wow, you just can't take my ranking, eh?
I
What
don't
the heck?
understand
I'm
your
asking you.
ranking.
You say you talked about the only thing I can say is you felt that the plot was not as strong. It's a mediocre film with great characters.
Yep.
And that is why?
Well, that's why it doesn't fall into Last Crusade
Okay,
territory.
then
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking
Yeah.
for. That's the only reason. I mean, I would only disagree in the sense that I think it was exactly what it tended to be.
Oh,
I think
it's
the mediocre
exactly-
plot line is what it wants to be. Now, you don't care for that, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't say that it's a weaker movie because of the plot.
Well, it has to be. If
I
you
almost
didn't like
agree.
it, then it has to be a weaker.
I agree with you that the plot got out of the way. That was a good thing. You let the characters be characters.
Okay.
See, and that's why I say, like, after the weekend that we had, I needed a movie that there was no plot, that didn't make me think. It was just stupid fun, and I don't pick those often.
You know what? I'm thinking back to Last Crusade now, and you know what? It's a Last Crusade. I'll give it a Last Crusade, okay? I'll give it a Last Crusade.
And that's it's just like I've watched you rave about a movie, and then you give it a Temple of Doom, and it's okay,
Well, I like Temple of Doom, though.
And then you shit on a movie throughout the movie. You'll shit on, I hate this. Oh, I hate it when they did that. How we did that? Oh, I'm going to give it a total Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it's just like and I don't care about what the final your final word is, but you just set across that you either love something or you hate it, because you sat throughout here, laughed, enjoyed throughout the whole thing, and I gotta appreciate that, and then you shit on it. And I don't mean literally, but I mean...
I don't think a Raiders of the Lost Ark's a shitting rating, though.
No, I know, but you didn't say one negative thing about the whole movie at the end, and then you question. Now, you did upgrade.
That's why...
You did upgrade
That's
to,
why it's called Final Thoughts, Mike. Because I bring up the thoughts of the final.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
not
got,
my
we're
point.
all out
That's
of
not my
time,
point.
folks. We're all out of
Okay.
time here, folks. Okay.
Apparently, Cole Staples dicks.
Cole Staples. Oh, really? Down in Midtown, eh? Mike, what's going on in your world?
Everything too much. We're still end of August. We're doing the Shakespeare in the park and at the Bailey Theater. We're looking for awareness. We're looking for people to deliver posters. We got that. Hopefully somebody's going to do that. The posters should be here in the next day or so. And it's just a bunch of talented people. I'm going to be very impressed with this. I know it. We got the Gong Show around the corner, looking for actors or performers for that.
No, I take away the Last Crusade. It is a Raiders with a half Last Crusade. That's what it is. It's not a full Last Crusade.
Anyway.
Okay, what else you got going on?
It's a Raiders with a half
That's why
Last
nobody
Crusade.
trusts Jeff.
Right.
Okay?
It's a Raiders with a
yeah.
half.
So you got the Gong
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah, we have the Gong Show, and then we're looking for future for fun and at the Bailey Theater and all sorts of stuff. So, Infinite Imagination. Check us out on Facebook.
Laura, how's your world been?
Sore, actually.
Sounds like a little hard work.
Right, but that's not the part really that made me sore. that rash that I ended up from the beer was from the beer.
What did you do at Craven's?
When you come back from Craven with a rash,
I was actually breaking.
I told you to get that ointment.
That ointment wouldn't have helped. I had an allergic reaction to all the beer. It's more severe than anybody else's.
look at Corey's puzzled look. Like,
Allergic to beer.
I am allergic to beer.
That is an awful way to live.
I am if I ingest it, it can kill me. But apparently, if it's on my skin, I get hives. So this Big Valley's going to be wonderful.
Yes, I'm not driving Wednesday, so there will be beer.
I can walk. It's all good. But if we've got Scouts winding down, we've got one more meeting, and then the parade. So I get a whole 2.5 week break.
Yeah, we got. I like this working through the midsummer with the Scouts thing for a little while, but yeah, you know what? We need a longer break.
We get December off, so it's worth it. But taking on registrar, I don't get as much of a break anymore.
You're registrar.
I am.
That reminds me, I got my treasurer stuff done.
Oh, I got receipts for you.
Oh, good. Yippee.
But got the boss coming out on Friday, so it's going to be stupid busy this week after taking 5 days off. And then other than that, not a whole hell of a lot. You guys, I won't be around after Big Valley. Oh shit, Jeff, I might not be able to do your... No, I can do your movie. I won't be around after Big Valley for probably a couple weeks. I'm finally going to take some downtime, an actual vacation, not working.
My movie is this weekend, and then we're going to need a topic because we are due for a topic. I got a couple different ideas, but
What do we need a topic for?
Because we haven't done a topic in a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we should all get together this weekend and go see a movie together. That's what I think.
We should totally
I
do that.
concur.
Just not Friday because that's when the boss is coming in.
Can't be me.
Friday.
I'm away.
You're away all weekend?
Yeah, I'm going camping.
Oh, okay.
Heading out Thursday.
Nice.
We're not leaving until after the family barbecue
Oh, okay.
for camping. But you know what? I have decided, because my birthday is the day after our last shift at Big Valley, don't call me. My feet are going to be up on a pillow.
Corey, what's going on in your world?
As most of you know, thanks to the amazing carpentry of Jeff,
Let's not stretch this.
well, maybe don't look at them based on my comparison, but
the mediocre carpentry of Jeff.
either way, so between brainstorming and having our ideas collide, because he had the idea a while ago, I had the idea less time ago, but at the same time, our ideas collided. We are a proud partner, for lack of better words, of Mini Blockbuster Cameras. Now, I call it that because right now I have the only one, and it is just like those little library boxes, leave a movie, take a movie, blah, 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 blah. That it's, instead of books, it's for DVDs, so it's super cool. So I've got one in front of my place, and I'm getting
a huge success, eh?
Massive success. We were in the paper. It was the last page. I was a little disappointed by that. I'm not going to lie, but it was the last page.
It's the Camrose booster.
I know. There's nothing else going on in this town. Why is it the last page?
So every 70-year-old and up has read about
Yeah,
your
exactly.
mini
They also spelled his last name wrong.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
yeah, they
wow.
did.
They spelled mine.
At least they didn't
right.
spell my
Put
first
an
name
E in
wrong.
it?
Right?
No, last name.
Oh.
AL. But anyways, so the reason I say Mini Blockbuster right now is we've got some ideas floating around to get some other brands out there. Like, as most of you know, if you're listening from Camrose, how the video store was a huge hit here. Laura was there. We loved Roger, everything like that. Like, as a Blockbuster guy, I had nothing but respect for the video store. So we might put up some video store boxes out there too. So I'm kind of just running with my own thing, but I'm here to support everyone's own vision. And
I'm going to try to get a movie gallery one, to be honest.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's my goal, to get a movie gallery one.
there you go. Either way, it's out there. It's in Duggan Park. Check out Mini Blockbuster Cameras on Facebook. I've been kind of throwing some anecdotes on there and stuff.
I
So
just wonder if
I don't, it
there
hurts.
could be an issue with legality if it gets popular.
By Mini Blockbuster? No.
By Blockbuster.
No.
I'm just saying, I know it's a dead issue, a dead entity.
No, it's not.
It's
not,
actually
but-
not dead.
Yeah,
But-
so then there we go.
But there is a place in Seattle called Not Starbucks, and it's perfectly legal. They didn't have to get permission or anything.
See, and it's even
Oh,
doing
yeah.
for like doing the video store, I will reach out to Roger and Diana before I do it.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
that's
mean,
a respect
that's
issue, is
local,
what that
but
is.
I mean, when a high school in Rocky Mountain House can get sued because of their Rocky Rebel looks like Yosemite Sam on a vague route, then I don't question anything anymore.
But yeah, like I don't call it Block. And I even changed the logo to have the word Mini in it, so it's not. Yeah, it's not trying to, and I'm not making money. So
Yeah.
That's true.
so
Yeah, you're definitely not making money.
I'm not here to make money. Yeah.
To do mine.
You got to
too.
give the men shed a shout out. By the way.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know who the Men Shed is. Man Shed, Ben Shed. Anyway,
Man shed.
it's a bunch of retired folk that like to work on woodworking and help out in the community. So they are building me a bigger and better box. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be throwing some money their way just for doing it. I want to shout out to them. I want people to realize how great work they do in the community. They're going to be doing some work for the Bailey here.
Replacing our floors at the moment.
Yeah, so good for
rotten
them.
boards.
Nice.
That's what's
Yeah.
going on in the auditorium.
Yeah, I knew that there was something going on with the floor. I didn't know it was all.
Well, it's a summertime revitalization
Yeah.
all over, but yeah, that specifically was what some of the guys from them are doing.
And I just got to remind everybody: stay out of the heat and conserve your water. Keep your stick on the ice, everybody.
Bye.
Meh.